Chapter 909. Chapter 909. Yi Zywin's accurate prediction, Brother E. I came here today mostly for you. Do you dare to fight with me? If you can beat me, then we settled the Bai Chun incident in the past once and for all. How about that? Bai Lishuan stood up and said. Bai Lishuan looked at Yi Hong faintly and said. Although he was here for Bai Chen's incident this time, he had gotten news that Bai Chen was dead. It was a fact. Not just the vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan said so. Even the internal news they received told the same. It verified that it was true. Jade Shadow Sea Snake clan would spend all his power to force vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan handing Bai Chen over. Since Bai Chen was dead, no one wanted to get into a conflict with the vanishing shadow poisonous for a deceased. It was not worth it at all. Why don't I dare? But you have no chance of winning. Yi Hong was only slightly taken aback, and then nodded in agreement for the duel. He had his pride, which did not allow him to cower from the challenge. What's more, it was necessary to resolve the trouble which Crown Prince Crocodile brought. Now that Bai Chen was dead, there was no need for the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan to continue the face-off with the Jade Shadow Sea Snake clan. Winning chance? You won't know until we fight, said Bai Lishuan lightly. Since you said so, let me fulfill your wish. Yi Hong nodded. The two figures jumped directly into the arena, looking at each other slightly coldly. Even if it was not for the clan's matter, there was a value to fight at the elite level. Both parties released their aura instantly, as if scripted. The two terrifying auras collided in the air. The air brought by the momentum began to continuously collide, making a sharp whistling sound and sonic boom. Neither of them held back. They both gave it all. In Yi Zywin's eyes, there was an indescribable shock. Both of them were Transcendent Realm 6th level peak. They were even stronger than Chai Jianbin. The two seemed to share the same anticipation, and they were not surprised at all. The two men's imposing aura competition continued. Bai Lishuan couldn't help at first. He drew a short saber in his hand. It streaked across the sky, producing a green glow. The attack headed toward Yi Hong at lightning speed. He was agile, making his attack unalerted. The shockwave of the short green saber only broke out long after he left. It had created immense turbulence. It was conceivable how fast he was. Yi Hong's reaction was not sluggish at all. Steel claws suddenly appeared on both of his hands. On the claws, there were faintly complex and mysterious formations flowing in them. A dangerous aura exuded these two steel claws. Asterisk schwa. Asterisk Yi Hong scratched on the empty air, causing a violent wave. He sent out a wind blade toward Bai Lishuan, who was leaping straight to him. Boom! Bai Lishuan's short saber and the wind blade clashed midair. The sharpness of the short saber in Bai Lishuan's hand was unimaginable. It cut through the wind blade in an instant, but his movement was slightly hindered. This was precisely the effect Yi Hong wanted. It gave him an opening to launch his steel claws and block the saber. Asterisk clang. Asterisk, it was a loud metal trembling sound. The terrifying impact directly turned into a shock wave, swept out towards the surroundings. Amidst the boundless air current, Bai Lishuan's next wave of offense arrived with almost no pauses. The short saber rushed up again and approached Yi Hong's face. That's too fast. Even Yi Hong was a little surprised. His pupil shrank slightly, but his reaction speed was not slow. He waved his other steel claw and swept from the side. If Bai Lishuan didn't avoid it, he would be slashed in half on the spot. Bai Lishuan had no choice but to dodge the devastating attack. After avoiding Bai Lishuan's blow, Yi Hong's counterattack was like a shadow. It approached immediately with his cold voice instantly reached Bai Lishuan's ears. I've already said, you can't beat me. In his hand, the steel claw carried a dense chi, tearing the vast sky, cutting out a brilliant light, and instantly caught Bai Lishuan. The attack was seemingly capable of shattering the sky. He was as fast as lightning when he grabbed Bai Lishuan's arm. The chi that Bai Lishuan utilized to protect his arm was shattered due to the grip. A violent wind swept out. Bai Lishuan's speed was faster. At this critical moment, he avoided the fatal blow. However, his entire sleeve was torn. His eyes appeared more serious. The battle with Yi Hong was a matter of life and death. Any mistake would prove fatal. Although he believed that Yi Hong would not kill him directly, serious injuries were inevitable. Many human warriors around were watching enthusiastically because neither of the warriors was human. For them, it was delightful to see the opponent fight their kind. Anyway, these Sea clans were the same in their eyes. The human warriors all wished for the Sea clan's warrior's death. Yi Shiwen glanced at Bai Li Xuan. He shook his head and muttered to himself, "He can't make it." "Elder brother Yi what? Who can't make it?" Bai Hanmo looked at Yi Shiwen curiously. Since Yi Zaiwen's successful prediction just now, he hoped that Yi Shiwen could voice out his prediction in every round. He was quite excited about it. Bai Hanmo had realized it from the beginning. Compared with Yi Shiwen, his strength might not be inadequate, but he was not as good as Yi Shiwen in terms of combat experience. Battle foresight was more than intuition. The most important thing was combat experience. If he didn't have enough combat experience with various enemies, how could he accurately judge the battle outcome? In this regard, Yi Shiwen could be regarded as an expert. He had rich combat experience, particularly battles with many kinds of enemies. Hence, he could quickly determine the strengths and weaknesses of different enemies types. Since Bai Hanmo heard it all, Yi Shiwen didn't mind elaborating it further. Bai Li Xuan is unmatched to Yi Hong. How do you know? Bai Hanmo asked. Although Bai Li Xuan suffered a small loss in the previous clash, it was not a big deal. This actual battle had just begun. Bai Li Xuan's proficiency in speed and ambush is disadvantageous when facing Yi Hong, added Yi Shiwen. In other words, Bai Li Xuan's fighting style was somewhat similar to that of an assassin. If there was a surprise attack or something, there might be a chance to win. It would be terrible in a face-to-face battle with a strong opponent like Yi Hong. Yi Zaiwen's fighting style was similar to Yi Hong, probably even more potent than Yi Hong. He defeated Chai Jinbin overwhelmingly in the same manner too. Of course, it did not mean that there was no other way. For example, Yi Hong would probably have no way to deal with Bai Li Xuan if he decided to roam around as he battled. With that, his escape attempts should be imminent too. On the other hand, Yi Shiwen was a unique case to be strong in power and speed. However, Bai Li Xuan chose to carry out the battle head-to-head, which he was least proficient at. It was merely digging for his own grave. It would be tough to determine the victor in a life-and-death battle. In terms of the duel, Bai Li Xuan was unmatched to Yi Hong. If this continues, Bai Li Xuan's defeat is only a matter of time, commented Yi Shiwen. This time, after hearing Yi Zaiwen's analysis, not many people questioned it. Yi Zaiwen's strength was well recognized by everyone through the battle just now. Although some people would still doubt it, none dared to raise it in person. Of course, the premise was that Yi Zaiwen's predictions were accurate. Otherwise, someone would be keen to deliver a slap in Yi Zaiwen's face verbally. But things were exactly as Yi Shiwen expected. The whole scene went in a direction that was unfavorable to Bai Li Xuan. When he lost his ambush factor and speed advantage, Yi Hong's relentless offense forced Bai Li Xuan into retreat. Bai Li Xuan had no way to retaliate. "You can't be my opponent." Yi Hong kept lowering Bai Li Xuan's space to maneuver. He suppressed Bai Li Xuan's strength to a minimum level. Without enough room to move, Bai Li Xuan's threat was suddenly reduced. He could only continue to resist under Yi Hong's attack. Bai Li Xuan might not lose if it was a real life-and-death battle. Within this narrow space, it completely limited his performance. After Yi Hong pushed Bai Li Xuan into a dead corner again, he conceded without any hesitation. This was just a duel. There was no need to fight desperately. Everyone was in an uproar again, not only because Yi Hong easily defeated Bai Li Xuan, but the most important thing was that everything went exactly the same as Yi Zaiwen's prediction. As Yi Shiwen had expected, Bai Li Xuan was helpless with Yi Hong. He had to admit defeat in the end. This was the reason why the spectating warriors were shocked. If Yi Shiwen could predict their victory or defeat, it was not a big deal. After all, Yi Zaiwen's strength was far above them. It was not surprising. However, it was a shock for Yi Shiwen to predict the duel outcome between Yi Hong and Bai Li Xuan. But for Yi Shiwen, it was not difficult to predict. If it were a life-and-death battle, Yi Shiwen would not make judgments so lightly. Everyone has a unique skill as their ultimate trump card. Before revealing it, it would be hard to determine the victor. But if it was just a duel, the outcome was undoubtedly much simpler to be predicted. Since I've come down to the arena, I'm not going back to my seat. Yi Shiwen, do you dare to come down and fight me? Chapter 9:10. Chapter 9:10. Heavy watercolor region. Yi Hong's words went straight to Yi Zaiwen's ears. Yi Shiwen knew that he would not be able to dodge the fight. Besides, he had no intention to avoid the battle too. He had to face his conflict with the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan anyway. Although it was impossible to resolve it altogether, there were still ways to delay it. As compared to the fight with Bai Li Xuan just now, Yi Hong had a completely different aura exuded from his body, which completely enveloped Yi Shiwen. Everyone suddenly became nervous. It had come to this point. The grievance between Yi Shiwen and the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan was already well known. Yi Hong's fight this time would not be the same as the reserve fight with Bai Li Xuan. He would do his best to kill Yi Shiwen. Seeing Yi Shiwen walking out without hesitation, Yi Hong said in a cold voice, "You'd better give your last words quickly. You won't have a chance in a while." Yi Hong didn't intend to hide anything, but Yi Shiwen was unfazed. He had expected it a long time ago, and his eyes flickered with killing intent. "Say my last words? I think you need to do that more than me." Yi Shiwen sneered. "Arrogant," blurted Yi Hong coldly. He kicked the ground and launched himself out like a heavy artillery shell. He is so fast. Among the warriors known for their physical strength, Yi Hong's speed was almost at the extreme. His tyrannical physical body was inborn. His speed was trained through effort. With that, he appeared strong in both speed and physical body. The claws instantly grabbed out and fell from the sky to scratch Yi Shiwen to death. His speed was undeniably fast, but Yi Zaiwen's speed was faster than that. The flame in his hand burnt blazingly and turned into a long saber. He wielded it instantly and slashed directly at the steel claw. Saber aura and the steel claw instantly tore the vast sky and crashed into each other in midair. Boom! As if something had collapsed, an explosion took place in the air. Two horrible rays of light smashed into each other, forming a spherical energy ball that burst instantly and swept in all directions. Yi Hong was a little surprised. His speed was fast enough. Even an ordinary Transcendent Realm 6th level expert would be caught by his sudden attack just now. Yi Shiwen escaped and reacted in time. This was something he didn't expect at all. It was completely different from the duel against Bai Li Xuan. Bai Li Xuan's speed was swift, faster than him. However, he could still keep up. Thus, he did not fall into a disadvantage because of that. In his view, Yi Shiwen in front of him should have taken the physical strength route. For example, he relied on sheer strength and simple moves to suppress Chai Jianben previously. But he didn't expect Yi Zaiwen's speed to be more shocking than his power. His eyes appeared more solemn. Yi Shiwen was even more difficult to fight with than he initially thought. However, his hesitation was only for an instant. Immediately, the steel claws in his hand grabbed at Yi Shiwen again. Under the control of his 5 fingers, he tore through the sky, forming a terrifying air current, and confronted the opponent. It was a surprise attack just now. Yi Shiwen failed to give it all, but at the same time, Yi Hong also was unable to give it all. "Jade breaking demon beast claw," Yi Hong yelled. He rose from the ground with his hands enlarging in midair. Countless chi entangled on the steel claws of his hands with jade glimmers on the surface. He darted towards Yi Shiwen. His claw technique was impressive. Among the people Yi Shiwen knew, no one had claw proficiency comparable to him. Yi Zaiwen's reaction was faster. His left hand was burning with raging flame. It morphed into a long saber. Coupled with the existing fiery saber, the two long sabers crossed each other. Yi Shiwen delivered a cross-shaped fiery slash which confronted the jade-breaking demon beast claw. Boom! The glimmering claw and saber aura struck one another, and they were offset by each other. A terrifying force quickly swept in all directions. Yi Zaiwen's duel with Chai Jianben previously had only trembled the barrier which the sunny bamboo chamber of commerce experts prepared. In the current fight, the barriers showed signs of shattering. The previous battles were much more reserved, particularly Yi Hong's duel with Bai Li Xuan and Yi Zaiwen's duel with Chai Jianming and subsequently Chai Jianbin. The participants spared their combat power and did not fight with all their strength to avoid being taken advantage of later on. Therefore, the barrier appeared firm. However, when Yi Shiwen clashed with Yi Hong, the barrier seemed to be weaker. At this time, Yao Qian hastened to reinforce the barrier so that the venue would not be ruined. Your combat strength is not bad. But if you think that's enough, then you are wrong. Yi Hong sneered. His body burst out a powerful qi. Dense water vapor came together, forming a monstrous tide. Though, this technique was more superior compared to Yi Zaiwen's previous encounter at Holy Realm Dweller's Mansion, where there was no water. On this sunny bamboo island, it was not far from the sea, so Yi Hong could easily create massive tides. Yi Hong stood on the top of the tide, staring at Yi Shiwen with icy eyes. Yi Hong is scary. In his previous duel with Bai Li Xuan just now, they both did not give it all. Yi Shiwen will inevitably suffer now. He is an innate water clan. In such a watery environment, his combat power increases. Therefore, our clan can't gain a foothold in the Endless Sea region. Relatively speaking, this Endless Sea is a great environment for the Sea clan. Many people started to worry for Yi Shiwen. Compared to Yi Hong, they were more willing to help Yi Shiwen, a compatriot. Yi Hong made an all-out attack. His strength at Transcendent Realm's 6th level peak continued to rise. It appeared that he hadn't reached the limit yet. The surrounding water vapor also grew in intensity as his strength continued to rise. Yi Shiwen stared at Yi Hong faintly with a solemn expression. The mutated flame hidden within Yi Shiwen became active. It then spread out in all directions with his figure as the center, forming a sea of fire. As the saying goes, water and fire were merciless. Currently, the battle was a brutal confrontation between water and fire. What's going on? Although this flame isn't quite intense, it directly forms a wall of fire, making it impossible for those monstrous tides to run over. Does this look like the kind of flame that appeared when Yi Shiwen defeated Chai Jianbin just now? Yes, indeed. It is that kind of flame, but unfortunately, I have never seen this kind of flame. There are tens of thousands of flame types in the world. Even if the ancestors of fire, the Phoenix clan, won't be able to recognize all the flames. This will be a worthwhile battle to watch. This is not a one-sided situation. Yi Hong was not surprised. He had been waiting. He also saw how Yi Shiwen defeated Chai Jianbin previously. Chai Jianbin was not worth mentioning in his heart. He had made up his mind to kill Yi Shiwen, so he would not underestimate the battle. Now that he knew that Yi Shiwen had this trump card, he would be prepared. This is a bit interesting. Although I don't know what kind of flame you are using, no flame can burn in my freezing water. Yi Hong showed a slightly cruel smile on his face. Towering tidal waves gushed toward Yi Shiwen with no pauses. Every water droplet was akin to a water sword, striking Yi Zaiwen's firewall. The sea of fire waved around Yi Shiwen. Everything that it got into contact with would be caught in the flames. The flame burned on the water surface. Though it could not penetrate through the water surface, it directly evaporated the towering tide covering the sky. It went entirely out of expectation for Yi Shiwen. Freezing water isn't an ordinary water technique, but Yi Shiwen didn't care so much at this time. The fiery long saber in his hand reappeared, and his figure instantly rushed towards Yi Hong. Soon he realized that when he stepped on the water, his speed was a lot slower. Soon he discovered that this was not because his speed was slow, but the water was too weird. When he stepped on the water, he felt a considerable suction force to hold him firmly. Ha! This is my heavy water territory. It is also the strongest technique I have ever mastered. I have never shown it in the past. It is your honor to die under this heavy water territory. Yi Hong laughed aloud. With a wave of his hand, the water in the sky instantly turned into a massive claw and grabbed at Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen stomped on his feet. His figure quickly retreated frantically. The massive claw missed, but it was persistence. It directly grabbed at Yi Shiwen again. Heavy water territory? Is this a territory that only law manifestation can comprehend? When someone saw this heavy water territory, he suddenly exclaimed, asterisk gasp, asterisk if this is the case, then Yi Shiwen will lose. The Law Manifestations territory is a small world created by the law manifestation experts after comprehending the world and imitating the world's rules. In this small world, it belongs to him. In his home ground, no one can compete against him. He is the deity. He is the heaven. He is the law. He creates everything, so he also owns everything and controls everything. But isn't this an ability that only the law manifestation experts have? Chapter 9:11. Chapter 9:11. Graceful Saber / everyone at the scene was immediately startled. Those who could be here were at least the best among the younger generation of experts in the immense sea region nearby. Naturally, they knew that law manifestation was the realm above transcendent realm. This was a brand new realm. The enormous difference from transcendent realm was that law manifestation could create its territory. The so-called territory was a place created by imitating the rules of heaven and earth. In this area, the martial artists specified all the rules. They could ascend the water to higher places as they wished. They would be the deity of the territory, representing the heavenly way. He would be the supreme deity of all in that territory. This was the terrifying part of the law manifestation realm. They would easily crush the transcendent realm expert. If a faction had no law manifestation expert garrisoned, it would not be classified as a first-class force. The so-called law manifestation represented the world imbued with law. In this territory, it belonged to his world. For the martial artist, it was also an essential step on the cultivation path. Forming a territory was vital for the martial artist. Even the legendary deity empire evolved from this territory. For the law manifestation experts, the territory was a cheat tool to comprehend the heavenly way in addition to being a sharp attack method. By condensing the territory and expanding the territory, one could grasp a feeling similar to the operation of the heaven way. This was precisely the most appropriate way to understand the heaven way. But in any case, this was the territory that only the law manifestation experts had. How could it appear on Yihong? With the emergence of this territory, even the transcendent realm 7th level expert would be helpless with it. No, this is not a territory. It should be a pseudo-territory. The knowledgeable expert immediately shouted, yes, it is a pseudo-territory. Some transcendent realm experts can also manifest territory in advance for various reasons. Some martial techniques allow territory cultivation in the transcendent realm. This is the possible reason. Yes, although the pseudo-territory is much worse than the real territory, it can often only control one law. However, it is still a territory after all. I think Yi Shiwen is done for. Faced with Yihong, who owns a territory, he can only resort to escaping. Thus, he can't win. However, if Yi Shiwen decides to fight, it's impossible to break through the territory's constraints. Yihong, who owns the territory, is already invincible. In the eyes of everyone, Yi Shiwen was basically in a dilemma. If he advanced, he would be trapped in the heavy water territory, but he could only escape if he did not advance. He will choose to escape, right? No one will choose to mess around in front of the territory. The only one who can fight against a territory is another territory. Yi Zaiwen's figure was constantly fleeing in the heavy water territory. Numerous massive hands imbued with water elements intertwined into a dense net in the sky. Yi Shiwen was almost caught. Asterisk Schwa. Asterisk Yi Zaiwen's figure directly withdrew from heavy water territory. He barely avoided the massive hands from capturing him. Heavy water territory. It was cumbersome. Even with Yi Zaiwen's movement technique, his speed was restrained in it. His movements were far less smooth than before. Yi Shiwen was tightly constrained. Moreover, the heavy water territory not only reduced the speed of the intruders, but it also had the potential to suck the intruder tightly at one spot. The terrifying thing was the slap imbued with the heavy water was capable of mincing someone into a pile of flesh, albeit its fast speed. Yi Zaiwen's expression turned serious. Just as those people said, the people who owned the territory were almost invincible. The only option to fight against the territory was territory. Although Yi Shiwen escaped from the heavy water territory, Yi Hong's offense did not end. Now that all his trump cards were displayed, it would be a shame if Yi Shiwen could not be killed. Yi Hong was even surprised in his heart. This heavy water territory was a natural predator to the warrior with fast speed. The faster the person, the more difficult it was for the person to move in it. If Bai Lishuan fell into the heavy water territory just now, he would be tightly constrained. Sure enough, when Bai Lishuan saw this territory, his face immediately became more dignified, frowning. It was as if he was thinking about how to deal with the heavy water territory. Even if this territory was exposed, it was difficult to crack it. The characteristic of the territory allowed it to be invincible. Even if it was just a fake territory, it was also difficult to crack. It's useless. No matter where you flee today, you are still going to die. Yi Hong screamed in an instant. He directed the tides over. Heavy water territory wrapped Yi Shiwen in it again. Yi Shiwen found that his speed had dropped again. It was incomparable with the time when he was outside the heavy water territory. In the territory, he would be more or less affected by the heavy water territory. However, the stronger the person, the less the effect would be. A territory would undoubtedly be more effective against warriors focusing on refining their physical body. At the moment, Yi Shiwen was enshrouded in the heavy water territory again, with Yi Hong approaching. Jade-breaking demon beast claw. In an instant, his two claws seemed to have manifested 10 jade-colored waterfalls, which were intertwined into a large net. He intended to entangle Yi Shiwen in it and strangle this human to pieces. Yi Shiwen raised the fiery saber aura in his hand and instantly surrounded himself in it, blocking the jade-breaking demon beast claw's attack. Although in the heavy water territory, Yi Zaiwen's speed was still ridiculously fast for ordinary warriors. The two of them clashed all the way from the ground to the sky. It was brutal combat in midair. Especially seeing Yi Shiwen in the heavy water territory, he could still move freely, showing no losing signs to Yi Hong. The spectators were a little stunned all of a sudden. He is a monster in human skin, right? Otherwise, why is he so overwhelming? For Yi Shiwen, entering the heavy water territory was an obstacle. He couldn't give up completely. Yi Hong was also a little depressed. After using all his means, he still couldn't defeat Yi Shiwen. Just like Yi Hong, who was depressed, Yi Shiwen also felt depressed. Without heavy water territory, he would not be afraid of Yi Hong at all. After having heavy water territory on the battlefield, Yi Shiwen found that he was not as flexible as before. Of course, he also knew that this heavy water territory could not be maintained for too long. Even if it was just a pseudo-territory, its consumption must be hefty. After all, only law manifestation warriors could possess this kind of energy. Yi Hong forcefully exerted it now. Thus he had to pay his price. The pseudo-territory should not be underestimated despite it being far less potent than the actual one. Yi Shiwen did not want to wait until Yi Hong couldn't sustain such consumption and retrieve the heavy water territory. That was not Yi Zaiwen's style, and he didn't want that to happen. But conventional methods were useless for heavy water territory, albeit not reaching the pseudo-territory level. Therefore, what Yi Shiwen could do was to expose some of his techniques to overcome it. Meteor explosion was not completed. It could only be regarded as a semi-finished product. The consumption of Demon Chi Bomb was too heavy. It was also eye-catching. The last resort was the mysterious purple mutated flame. Since he had exposed his mutated purple flame just now, he was unscrupulous. After all, the public already knew it anyway. Thinking of this, Yi Shiwen suddenly had an idea. A purple flame climbed into the flame that surrounded Yi Zaiwen's body. It was like adding fuel to the fire. The flame on his body was raging. This mutated flame was tyrannical. It burned to the sky and created a burnt spot directly. One could imagine how terrifying it was. The spectators below were excited after seeing Yi Zaiwen's strong performance, especially the human clan experts. At this time, Yi Shiwen portrayed his might and was uncontended in Yi Hong's heavy water territory. At least, the crowd had a better impression of Yi Shiwen than Yi Hong at that moment. The mutated purple flame surrounded Yi Shiwen. Although it could not break through the heavy water territory, it could burn through the heavy water territory around Yi Shiwen, creating openings for Yi Shiwen to escape temporarily. Yi Zaiwen's speed after being enshrouded in the flame had greatly improved. A pair of golden wings behind him suddenly flapped, reaching an unprecedented speed. He almost rushed directly in front of Yi Hong like teleportation. The fiery saber aura in his hand instantly slashed on Yi Hong's body, mutilating a grave wound on Yi Hong with blood gushing out immediately. Yi Hong found it merely inexplicable. He was shocked, as if he had met the Grim Reaper. There was no way he would not be surprised because he had never seen Yi Shiwen at full speed. When Yi Shiwen was not at full speed with the demon wings hidden, his movement technique already pushed his speed to a superb level. No one would expect that Yi Shiwen had not given it all. Yi Hong hid his strength deeply. His trump card, pseudo-territory, was unchallenged for Transcendent Realm. However, no one expected Yi Shiwen to hide his true strength deeper. In addition to the purple flame, he still had other tricks. The trick wasn't entirely surprising, but the speed shocked everyone. Yi Shiwen is fast. It is an unimaginable speed. This was not difficult to deal with. If one were to be careful, there were ways to deal with teleportation-like speed. But it was a surprise at this moment. The saber slash was not only in haste, but had a surprise element. Everyone thought Yi Shiwen was already at his limit. Furthermore, everyone's attention was drawn to the purple flame. They thought that Yi Shiwen would rely on the terrifying power of the purple flame to open another path to flee. No one expected him to utilize it for a sudden attack and struck the opponent by surprise. Chapter 9:12. Chapter 9:12. Hurting Yi Hong fatally. The real key was to catch Yi Hong by surprise. Fiery saber aura directly tore a massive wound on his body. The flesh and bones were mutilated wherever the long saber passed. It almost slashed him into half by the waist. If it weren't Yi Hong reacting at the last moment, he could hardly escape its fate to death. The horror in his eye and expression was indescribable. He felt that death was so close to him for the first time. Initially, he thought everything would be easy. Even if Yi Shiwen had 1,000 means, he would be defeated in his heavy water territory. The territory's power could only be confronted by another territory. How could ordinary people have territory unless he had already gone beyond the Transcendent Realm? So he was full of confidence. Although he was jealous of Yi Zaiwen's purple flame, he was just jealous and didn't feel anything. But he didn't expect that Yi Shiwen would deliver such a deadly saber slash. If he hadn't avoided it at the critical moment, he would have been beheaded by a saber at this time with no survival chance. This was a terrifying fact. How could his speed be so fast? That said, he had hidden his strength previously. Countless thoughts flashed in his mind in an instant. It was beyond words to describe it. Everyone on the scene stood up in shock and couldn't believe it. Initially, the crowd thought that after Yi Hong activated the pseudo-territory, Yi Zaiwen's best result was to escape. However, the outcome was entirely different from what they originally thought. It appeared Yi Shiwen always had unexpected tricks prepared for everyone. The only one not surprised was probably Yao Qian. Yi Shiwen rescued her in the past. At that time, Yi Shiwen had already used demon wings. He was able to escape from a Transcendent Realm 9th level burning corpse. Only Yao Qian knew how fast Yi Zaiwen's speed would be. Although she had suffered a severe injury at the time, it didn't mean she knew nothing. As she hadn't seen him launching that pair of wings, she was only slightly nervous. Yi Shiwen had not yet revealed his true strength. Sure enough, Yi Zaiwen's pair of wings shocked all four of them on the main seat. He hurt Yi Hong fatally in one move. Despite the superior strength, Yi Hong had to suffer a significant loss. The so-called trump card should be utilized like this. However, she knew that Yi Zaiwen's lost technique, hidden at the bottom of his heart, the vicious beast phantom, was not used. How many lost techniques of his aren't discovered yet? She was slightly curious in her heart. However, the situation on the battlefield did not stop because of everyone's shock. Yi Shiwen moved extremely fast. He struck forward with his saber again. This time, Yi Hong was prepared. But after suffering a fatal wound from Yi Shiwen, he was unable to parry the attack. Bang! Yishuan sent Yi Hong out directly in a slash. A mouthful of blood spurted out, and his body flew upside down. Yishuan stepped out again and chased him out. Just as he was about to kill Yi Hong, a massive hand in the sky suddenly grabbed onto Yi Shiwen in the arena. Yi Shiwen immediately felt that a horrifying aura locked on him in an instant. Yi Shiwen instinctively fanned the storm wings behind him. His figure dashed wildly, barely avoiding this terrifying grasp. Then, a black-robed senior warrior with an unmatched aura rushed in. "Vile human, how dare you hurt our vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's member?" As soon as the black-robed senior warrior came in, he stared at Yi Shiwen, who had escaped the disaster with a little astonishment in his eyes. He didn't expect Yi Shiwen to dodge away. He could not catch Yi Shiwen even if it were an ambush. Although he was hasty in his attacks, this kid was not a simpleton. When the senior warrior rushed in, Yi Shiwen suddenly felt that the warning signs rose sharply. It gave off a feeling of extreme danger surging from the soles of his feet to his head. The last time he felt this way was facing the Transcendent Realm 9th level burning corpse. He felt the same when facing the senior warrior. Elder 18. It's him who killed Yi Ying. Yi Hong spit out a mouthful of blood, clutched the wound split in half, and stared at Yi Shiwen viciously. He did not mention Yi Xiangtian. Firstly, he had no evidence, and Yi Xiangtian was nothing to him. Yi Xiangtian was just an ordinary clan member. His death was incomparable with Yi Ying. "Great job, kid. You shall die today. No one can save you." Elder 18 squinted his crocodile eyes. Murderous intent was immense in his gaze. This was the precursor that he was willing to do anything to kill Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen instantly unfolded the demon wings behind him. He turned around and left. This terrifying aura alerted him of this terrifying threat. Elder 18 in front of him might have entered the Transcendent Realm 9 level peak already. Even in the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan, such a character should be counted as a character of great status. He was ranked among the elders. Among the crowd present, countless people suddenly exclaimed, "Elder 18, is he the newly promoted elder of the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clans?" They said that Elder 18 is cruel and ruthless. Over the years, he had personally organized several important campaigns and led the team to wipe out several small sea clans. Why is he here? Yi Shiwen is now in danger. The senior warrior is at the pinnacle of Transcendent Realm. I'm afraid he can't escape. Yi Shiwen gritted his teeth. At this time, he could only escape ahead of time. Yi Hong had a serious killing intent on him. While he was the same against Yi Hong, it was just a pity. Yi Shiwen had almost achieved it. "Senior, it's quite inappropriate for you to barge in like this." Yao Qian got up at this moment. She stepped forward and said, "Little girl, this is our vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's business. I advise you not to be nosy." Elder 18 looked at Yao Qian gloomily. Hints of threats were in his tone. Nonetheless, this place belongs to the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. Yi Shiwen is also a guest of our Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. I can't tolerate outsiders stirring up trouble here, said Yao Qian firmly. As if cooperating with Yao Qian's words, several powerful auras rose not far away just after her voice fell. They were not inferior to Elder 18 in terms of strength. Elder 18, who was aggressive at this moment, suddenly turned cold, staring at Yao Qian with piercing eyes, and said, "Are you going to shield this kid? This is about shielding him or not. Yi Shiwen is our Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's guest. The Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce follows the rule to prevent our guests from being persecuted in our place," said Yao Qian fearlessly. Although the opposing party was a Transcendent Realm 9th level peak expert, she was not afraid. This place was Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's territory. Elder 18 seemed to be thinking about something. He pondered for a long time before he said, "If that's the case, then we will leave now. You will regret it for sheltering this kid. I don't think this kid will not leave this place and stay here forever." Elder 18 did not continue his stay. He left directly with the badly injured Yi Hong. He knew very well that he could not get any advantage here. If he made a move here, then he would suffer badly. In the end, he would be the one who fled in embarrassment. Trying to be a hero this time was not a good idea. With Elder 18 making a big fuss in the venue, this gathering of young experts also ended. As the major experts all came off the venue to duel, there was nothing much to watch. The gathering ended in a hurry, somewhat anticlimactic. Seeing Elder 18 leaving with Yi Hong, Yao Qian heard Yi Shiwen next to him say in pity, "What a pity. I couldn't kill this Yi Hong." She was a little bit dumbfounded at once. This Yi Shiwen was beyond words to describe. He was dissatisfied with just escaping from Elder 18. He even wanted to kill Yi Hong. Just Yi Shiwen beheading Ying had already driven the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan crazy. If he killed Yi Hong too, then the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan would go mad. A young expert of this level was rare, even in one of the three major overlords, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. The loss of one talent was a huge loss of an expert capable of ascending to the law manifestation realm in the future. It was a hefty price to pay. "Anyway, I have troubled you today." Yi Shiwen calmed down and said thanks. "It's nothing. Since you were the guest I invited here at our sunny bamboo chamber of commerce, we naturally can't just sit idly by, let alone the opposing party is the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan," said Yao Qian lightly, seemingly not taking it into her heart. It was undeniable that it could escalate into a war between the human clan and the sea clans. "Anyway, you will face huge pressure from the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan for sheltering me. In fact, I can leave now, and they will still be helpless with it," said Yi Shiwen. Chapter 9:13. Chapter 9:13. Being popular on sunny Bamboo Island, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan won't act rashly. After all, in this Flourish Cloud Sea region, they aren't the supreme ruler. Yao Qian said confidently, "There is another thing. I wonder if you are interested." "What is it?" Yi Shiwen asked. "In our Flourish Cloud Sea region, there is a place called Chaos Demon Sea," Yao Qian whispered. Yi Shiwen only then learned that there was Chaos Demon Sea in the Flourish Cloud Sea region. The Sea Demon clan dwelled in that place. It was a brand new race after the reproduction between the Sea race and Demon race. It was one of the ramifications left over when the Demon clan had invaded the ancient barrens and tried to dominate the world back then. After the Demon clan's defeat, more sporadic Demon clan gathering places on the entire ancient barrens continent. It was not just the Flourish Cloud Sea region. In many sea regions, there would be a Chaos Demon Sea. It varied on different scales. Some even had a pure demon clan dominating it. The Chaos Demon Sea of the Flourish Cloud Sea region was not too far away, merely hundreds of thousands of miles. In the Endless Sea, it was indeed not too far. Many people would regard Chaos Demon Sea as a place to gain experience. These sea demon clans had treasures all over the body. They could sell for a high price. Therefore, many people and sea clan experts would go to Chaos Demon Sea to hunt these sea demon clans. Especially now that the top 100 competition was not far away. Yao Qian wanted to go for an adventure again before the battle took place. She could improve her strength by killing some sea demon clans. For her to hold this gathering of young experts, this played a significant factor. She wanted to take the opportunity to unite those young experts and form a team to go there. However, her plan fell through because of Yi Shiwen. She should not group up with the Chai family and the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts. Besides, she was not familiar with the Jade Shadow Sea Snake clan at all. But Yi Shiwen came out at this time. She had a good relationship with him too. Yi Shiwen was not weak at all, so she invited her. Yi Shiwen had various thoughts in his mind, but he decided just a while. "Cool, we'll go too. When shall we leave?" Yi Shiwen asked. He felt his strength lagging. It was far from enough. He would need to improve his strength as soon as possible. The Sea Demon clan was undoubtedly a good opportunity for him. With Tianyuan Mirror, he had an innate ability to restrain the Demon clan. Even if it was only the Sea Demon clan who had half the Demon clan's blood, the effect remained the same. Chaos Demon Sea was undoubtedly an opportunity to improve his strength quickly. Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's hunt on him made him realize that his power was still too weak. Never mind facing the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. Even the sunny bamboo chamber of commerce could easily crush him. Whether it was to compete for the top 100 or survival, he must go all out. 10 days. We will leave in 10 days. You should stay in our chamber of commerce for these 10 days. We will naturally notify you after 10 days, said Yao Qian. But I'm afraid that the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan has already laid a net. Getting out of here will be a problem at that time. Yi Shiwen asked. If he rushed out blatantly, he would naturally have a way to escape from them. If he were to go along with the sunny bamboo chamber of commerce, it would pose a serious problem. At that time, we will naturally have our way, said Yao Qian with a smile. Yi Shiwen was the limelight in the gathering. He defeated Cai Jianming, Cai Jianbin, and finally injured Yi Hong fatally. The news quickly spread throughout Sunny Bamboo Island. At this time, Sunny Bamboo Island had gathered countless young talents above Transcendent Realm. Most of the young experts in the neighboring area had gathered here. Those who could get the limelight in this gathering had undoubtedly become famous among all the young experts around Sunny Bamboo Island. Yi Shiwen attracted the attention of countless people as a dark horse. In particular, the Chai family and the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was a substantial force. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was one of the three major behemoths of the flourished Cloud Sea region. Their superior strength was unfathomable, with many elites garrisoned in the clan. In this case, Yi Shiwen was taunting the clan blatantly. It was not just as simple as injuring Yi Hong. After Yi Ying was defeated, Yi Shiwen spared no mercy intending to kill Yi Hong. When this news came out, it shocked countless people. Yi Shiwen seemed to be bold with his nose pointing to the sky. There was no word to describe his actions anymore. It seemed that from the very beginning, Yi Shiwen never paid attention to the threat of the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. From Yi Xiangtian to Yi Ying and then Yi Hong, all of them hardly suffered a significant loss in his hands. Yi Shiwen was even described as the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan's nemesis. Wherever Yi Shiwen went, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan would suffer a miserable fate. However, many people believed that Yi Zaiwen's luck would end here. Although the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce was sheltering him, how long could this situation last? The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan had sent many experts to get readied outside the Sunny Bamboo Island. As long as Yi Shiwen got out of the island, he would be caught under the Poisonous Crocodile clan's besiegement. It would be a dead end. Under the circumstances, it was impossible to survive. Many people pitied him. After all, there was a shortage of human clan experts, especially among the younger generation. Yi Shiwen was a dark horse. If he could survive, he would shine and achieve excellent results in the top 100 competition. With the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan encircled outside the city like this, Yi Shiwen couldn't flee. Not just the outsiders talking about it. Even the locals at Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce were also talking about it. Many people couldn't understand why the executives made such a decision. The Chamber of Commerce's first principle was to value peace and to make money with harmony. The Chamber would not want to offend any forces. This was their plan for long-term survival. But now, the Chamber of Commerce had offended the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan, one of the three major overlords of the Sea clan in the Floral Cloud Sea region, for an unrelated person. For them, this was merely unwise. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan would not do anything to Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce due to the other human clan's enormous influence. However, they would still provide a hindrance to the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. It would be depressing. Many profits would be lost. Although Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce was a substantial force, they were not worth mentioning compared with a behemoth like the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan. In this sea region, the only person who could brawl with the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan was the Sea Dragon Mansion. In a courtyard inside the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce, Yao Qian and an extraordinary middle-aged man stood one after another. "Dad, your daughter's willful behavior has brought a lot of pressure," said Yao Qian at this time. The handsome middle-aged man with an extraordinary presence in front of her was none other than Yao Qian's father. the current chairman of Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce, Yao Junsheng. It's just some gossips. I didn't take it to heart. Yao Junsheng just smiled faintly. He didn't take it to heart. If ordinary people witnessed this scene and didn't know the identity of Yao Junsheng, they probably couldn't believe that this was the man who found the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce with his bare hands. The Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce was not the original force on Sunny Bamboo Island. Yao Junsheng built it from scratch more than 1,000 years ago. It became one of the behemoths on Sunny Bamboo Island. Along the journey, since the establishment of Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce, he had encountered many things. This level of gossip was nothing to him. It was just a piece of cake. In the past few years, I have also left you to take care of the Chamber of Commerce affairs. You have also taken care of it in an orderly manner. I believe you are not a reckless person, and you must have your reasons, so I have suppressed those gossips for you. Yao Junsheng said with a slight smile. He saved me. Yao Qian said lightly. I would have died without him. With his help in saving my precious daughter's life, I will protect him for once. Yao Junsheng laughed loudly. After Yao Qian came back, she told him about what had happened. He also understood the situation at the time. If he was put in the same shoe, he might not do it. After all, they were not linked with blood. But Yi Shiwen did it. This alone was impressive. Also, he has great potential. I have never seen his full potential. Only a few years ago, he was just a half-step transcendent realm. His cultivation progress is unprecedented, so I think he may have a lot of prospects in the future. Yao Qian said, recalling several encounters with Yi Shiwen. Almost every time she meets Yi Shiwen would change dramatically and become stronger. It was precisely because of this that Yao Qian witnessed Yi Shiwen becoming more robust step by step. He grew from what she initially thought of as an insignificant kid to someone capable of contending with her. These things are up to you. I will handle the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan. Yao Junsheng just smiled and said gently. Yao Qian's eyes were slightly flushed. The appearance of the muse in front of other people had long gone. There was no Muse Yao in front of Yao Junsheng. She was just a daughter. His figure was as tall as ever, like when she was a child, sheltering her from the storm. While there was a lot of discussion on Sunny Bamboo Island, Yi Shiwen was in close cultivation. Chapter 9:14. Chapter 9:14. Meteor Explosion. Completed for 10 days, Yi Shiwen would be under Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's protection. He could temporarily ignore external threats. For him, this was a rare opportunity. His 10 days close cultivation was not to improve his level, but to master his meteor explosion. This technique could be said to be one of his ultimate trump cards. Although it had not been completed, it was already considered a trump card. Yi Shiwen wanted to take advantage of these 10 days to deduce the meteor explosion technique fully. For others, this could be a tough thing to do, but it was not the case for Yi Shiwen. He, who owned the mysterious space and the Mingxin ancient tree, could use far less time than the average person to deduce the technique. It would be a piece of cake. As long as Yi Shiwen had enough spiritual stones, he could cultivate successfully. He was wholly immersed in the mysterious space. The countless spiritual crystals in Tianyuan Mirror were under Yi Ziwen's maneuver. These crystals were instilled in Yi Ziwen's mysterious space. The countless spiritual energy was like a waterfall, rushing into Yi Ziwen's body. Yi Ziwen's body was sitting cross-legged as if receiving the baptism of spiritual energy waterfall. As more and more spiritual energy began to flood into his mysterious space, countless meteor explosions information flooded into his mind. The meteor explosion in his mind became clearer and more precise. He had to deduce the meteor explosion technique within 10 days to have more trump cards in the Chaos Demon Sea. In his spiritual mind, Yi Shiwen stood up in that mysterious space. He squeezed his 5 fingers and continuously performed the Shattered Star Fist. In this mysterious space, he could give it all without being concerned. Yi Shiwen performed the Shattered Star Fist over and over again. He did not use his qi. The fist technique didn't seem to be that powerful. However, the technique was in the most real and most natural state. As the meteor explosion information was deduced little by little, his shattered star fist would become more robust than before. The ultimate technique, meteor explosion, would attain a breakthrough in the deduction. Yi Zaiwen's surroundings seemed to have turned into an endless and dark universe. His fists were like two stars in constant motion. The punches contained a particular prospect of Tao running in it. It faintly conformed to the rules of the star's movement in the entire universe. This was because he had practiced the shattered star fist to a terrifying point. Although he couldn't say that he had surpassed the founder, Yi Shiwen admitted that he had reached an advanced level. Since Shattered Star Fist was different from Sky Collapsing Fire Cloud Hand, Shattered Star Fist's origin was not known to everyone, even in true martial school. Yi Shiwen only faintly knew that true martial school's predecessors did not create it. The technique existed a long time ago. The predecessors of true martial school only discovered it. Initially, Shattered Star Fist was a classified martial art technique even in ancient barons. Yi Shiwen had to add another technique to the original Shattered Star Fist technique to transcend this powerful technique. The difficulty was apparent. Even the Law Manifestation Realm experts still used the human-level martial art techniques. Yi Shiwen wanted to create the method of Earth level. One could imagine how difficult it would be. Time also slowly passed by amidst his gradual deduction. 10 days had passed in the blink of an eye. 10 days was enough time for the turmoil to rise and enough time for the turmoil to subside. Yi Zaiwen's matter was always discussed during these 10 days, but people had gradually lost interest. After all, Yi Shiwen was like dead. He never appeared again. No more news came out since then, which made them even less interested. Slowly, the storm caused by Yi Zaiwen's limelight subsided bit by bit. With this opportunity, Yi Zaiwen's name was well known. People didn't know how far Yi Shiwen could ascend in the top 100 list. It was at least certain that he would be on the top 100 list. No one knew how many young experts there were in the Flourish Cloud Sea region. Those who stood out and became the top 100 were the strongest among the experts. Yi Shiwen became famous all over the world all of a sudden. Although it was the fame on sunny Bamboo Island, everyone believed that as long as Yi Shiwen participated in the top 100 list competition, having his name well known was only a matter of time. Anyone on the top 100 list was under the public's watch. Of course, the premise was that Yi Shiwen could escape from the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan. 10 days later, only the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts were still waiting for Yi Shiwen to come out of the sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. Sister Yao, when do you think elder brother Yi will come? Outside Yi Zaiwen's yard, Bai Hanmo waited impatiently. It should be soon, said Yao Qian calmly. She was still the indifferent muse, Yao, even though she did not know whether to laugh or cry under Bai Hanmo's harassment from time to time. In her eyes, Bai Hanmo was simply a child who had not grown up yet. When do you plan to go back? Yao Qian suddenly added. It's still early. I haven't played enough. I don't want to go back, replied Bai Hanmo casually. They will find this place soon. You can't hide for too long, said Yao Qian lightly. That's why I'm going to the Chaos Demon Sea with you. Bai Hanmo was quite satisfied with his smart choice. This is so much fun outside than at home. I don't understand why they don't let me out. With your premature cultivation, you will die. What else do you want? Yao Qian asked. If Yao Qian's admirers were present, their eyes would be staring out at this time. The indifferent and untainted muse, Yao had become sharp in words. Sister, I'm not as weak as you said. I taught Bai Hanhai a lesson, said Bai Hanmo, dissatisfied. Yao Qian was quite helpless with the Bai Hanhai and the 99th concubine incident. Even if it was true, it should be said in private. Yao Qian was helpless to Bai Hanhai, claiming it blatantly. It's just that you haven't met someone great, said Yao Qian lightly. She then caught a glimpse of Bai Hanmo muttering in dissatisfaction. Although she didn't hear it, she could imagine him saying that he was stronger than her. She couldn't do anything about this. Although Bai Hanmo was often unreliable, his talent in cultivation was unprecedented throughout her encounters. Even Yi Shiwen was not as good as Bai Hanmo in her heart. If Bai Hanmo were willing to work hard and cultivate, then his current cultivation would be very much higher. She did not doubt Bai Hanmo's talent for cultivation. It was not a problem to journey the world with by Hanmo's strength. Yi Shiwen had already done that with his cultivation realm that was inferior to Bai Hanmo. Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce Information Network was all over the Flourish Cloud Sea region, but they could not find Yi Zaiwen's tracks. He seemed to have popped up out of nowhere. If Yi Shiwen didn't pop out of the stone, there would be only one explanation. He traveled here from other places. It was fine to travel the world after arriving at Transcendent Realm. What made Yao Qian feel uneasy was Bai Hanmo's character. He was just like a child. If he were to encounter a sinister person, he would probably get cheated or scammed. It was different from Yi Zaiwen's journey because Bai Hanmo had an easy cultivation path. He took less than half of Yi Zaiwen's time to reach Transcendent Realm's 6th level easily. It was also because it was too easy that Bai Hanmo lacked experience. This worried Yao Qian the most. Maybe it will be great to allow him for an adventure and gain more experience. Yao Qian looked at Bai Hanmo and thought to herself. Without waiting for her to think about it, she heard the door of the small yard creak. It was none other than Yi Shiwen. But what baffled her was the change she sensed in Yi Shiwen. It was merely 10 days. It wasn't a significant change like being reborn, but Yi Shiwen had entered a deeper level. He was outside her reach, looming as if hidden in a mist. However, this feeling was only for a moment. After that moment, the change she felt in Yi Shiwen disappeared as if it was hidden. Sorry for letting you wait a long time. Yi Zaiwen's face was filled with uncontrollable excitement. After 10 days, he finally deduced all the essence of meteor explosion. This technique would become his most decisive killer move. Even if he was now confronted with a Transcendent Realm 7th level expert, the meteor explosion could slay the opponent if the opponent was not careful. But this also came at a price. The spirit crystal that finally reached 100 million once again dropped in numbers. It fell directly to only 50 million. It wasn't a hefty consumption. After all, he acquired the meteor explosion technique, which was equivalent to a life-saving talisman. It was worth it for him. If these spirit crystals could not be exchanged for mighty strength, it would be useless for him. Chapter 9:15. Chapter 9:15. Chaos Demon Sea. Nope, you're quite timely, Yao Qian said with a smile. Are there only 3 of us this time? Yi Shiwen asked. He noticed that there seemed to have no other Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce warrior around. So he asked, since it is only an adventure, there are only 3 of us. We will recruit companions before reaching Chaos Demon Sea. Seeing Yi Shiwen not know about it, Yao Qian explained. It turned out that the warriors typically go for an adventure in 2s and 3s, particularly for the Chaos Demon Sea. They would not organize a large group of warriors to experience in that place. Hence, many travelers came in a small team there. Before entering the Chaos Demon Sea, Yao Qian would invite a few to join in. In this way, the team would be completed. Compared with a large group, a small team size was the most suitable and the most flexible. In Chaos Demon Sea, it was likely to encounter a large number of sea demons. In this case, it would be difficult to escape in a large group. Of course, the temporary team would not be as closed as the 3 of them. Hence, the way they would select good teammates was also a paramount concern. After Yi Shiwen was readied, the 3 did not leave the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce, but went straight to Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce's internal area. They would leave Sunny Bamboo Island through the secret passage in the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. As a rising behemoth, there should be many such secret passages. It was all for precautions. To prevent the danger of elimination, they could escape through the hidden path. No wonder Yao Qian was so confident of escaping the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan's chase and interceptions. When the 3 of them appeared again after half an hour, they were already in a sea region far away from Sunny Bamboo Island. It was where one of the secret paths of Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce led to. We have to leave quickly. The vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan must have lookouts in our Chamber of Commerce. If you disappear, they will probably know soon. At that time, although they don't know which route we are taking, they will soon start their pursuit and chase over to Chaos Demon Sea. They will soon hear the news of us adventuring at Chaos Demon Sea. We will need to face them in Chaos Demon Sea, said Yao Qian. What are you afraid of? For the vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan member, I will kill those who dare to come. By Hamo still appeared carefree. He didn't bat an eye to the coming vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan member. What do you know? The vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan members are distraught. Yao Qian looked at Yi Shiwen and said meaningfully, if pursuers are dispatched this time, I am afraid that the elites will come for us. If they manage to chase up to us, our life will be in danger, so we can only try to avoid them. Once we enter Chaos Demon Sea, we can be unscrupulous. The Chaos Demon Sea is a complicated place with various forces gathered. Even the vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan isn't the overlord. The tyrannical clans at that place are the sea demons. They will never allow the vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan to spread their influence in Chaos Demon Sea. Even if the vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan elites come, the number will not be much. This will be our opportunity. Yao Qian spoke frankly with assurance. Before coming to this place, she had planned it all in consideration of potential problems. With this alone, she was far more mature than by Hanmo. What gave her confidence was the situation in Chaos Demon Sea. In Chaos Demon Sea, although it was a mess, it was a gathering place of the behemoths, the sea demon clans. It would be a great place to adventure because of the sea demon clan's permissive attitude. Many human clan experts and sea clans experts would murder many sea demon clans experts. On the other hand, the sea demon clans experts could gain experience. Those who were inferiors would be eliminated. Those who survived would be an elite. The foreign clans would gain experience from the sea demon clans. At the same time, the sea demon clans would utilize their opponents to tamper themselves. The higher-ups of the three parties were well aware that only through bloodshed could an expert be born. It was impossible to give birth to an expert in meticulous care like a cradle. It had the same principle of cultivating voodoo insects. Only the strongest could survive. It was still worthwhile even if the rest died. It was cruel to an individual but valuable for the whole clan group. And let's get out of here as soon as possible. Yi Shiwen thought for a moment. He immediately understood what Yao Qian meant. Seeing that both of them said so, Bai Hanmo had nothing to say. Relatively speaking, he was eager to enter Chaos Demon Sea quickly. For the others, it might be a dangerous place, but it was a playground for him. The three of them had no objection, so they left quite soon. As Yao Qian expected, after they left, many experts of the Sea Demon clan had arrived in just half an hour. The leader was the Elder 18. There was Yi Hong behind him. The injury which Yi Shiwen inflicted was treated and healed completely. Damn it, these petty humans had escaped. Yi Hong said viciously with bloodshot eyes. His defeat in Yi Zaiwen's hands was simply the greatest shame in his life. If it weren't for Yi Shiwen, how could he be so miserable? He had no rivals among his peers in the clan during his upbringing. Except for the Crown Prince Crocodile, who was one of the best, the rest of the young talents could not outshine him. That time, he thought it would be a piece of cake, but he suffered a heavy loss in Yi Zaiwen's hands and almost died. If it hadn't been for Elder 18 making a move regardless of the occasion, his corpse would be lying cold for a long time. Whenever he thought of this scene, he would tremble with anger. Yi Hong wanted to wash away the shame that Yi Shiwen inflicted. To achieve that, Yi Hong had a strong desire to kill Yi Shiwen by mutilating his corpse and burning his spirit into ashes. According to our insider in the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce, that slut helped him escape, said Elder 18 gloomily. His voice was cold and murderous, but unfortunately, she probably never dreamed of it. We have our insiders within the Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. Her whereabouts are in our grasp. Unfortunately, I just don't know where they went, Yi Hong said suddenly with some regret. From the direction of their secret path, there is only one place to go. That will be the Chaos Demon Sea. Only the Chaos Demon Sea is taboo for the major forces in the Flourished Cloud Sea region. Even our vanishing shadow, poisonous crocodile clan can't spread our influence there. If they want to escape, there is only one place, Chaos Demon Sea. Elder 18 judged Yao Qian's direction instantly with no hesitation. For an experienced sly fox like him, he could figure out many things in a moment. If they go to other places, then they can only fall into the net of my clan with no chance to escape. I believe that little slut must have thought of this. So I am sure they must have gone to the Chaos Demon Sea. Many vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts who followed Elder 18 nodded, agreeing to Elder 18's judgment. Then, let's catch up quickly, said Hong impatiently. Wait, the Chaos Demon Sea is a taboo place. Although the sea demon clans appear chaotic, they are quite united against foreign influences. They restrict our major forces from sending a large number of people here. If we want to go there, we need to go in a small team. Moreover, it is quite conspicuous for our clan members to go like this. It will attract the attention of the sea demon clans higher-ups soon. When the time comes, it will stir up a storm and become unconducive for us. I'm not going, but you can, said Elder 18. Me? Hong blushed suddenly and was ashamed. He thought that Elder 18 was deliberately humiliating him. He was not Yi Zaiwen's opponent previously. Sending him alone to hunt Yi Shiwen was the same as exposing his throat to the opponent blatantly. This suggestion was simply a humiliation. But then it occurred to him that Elder 18 wouldn't be like this. He quickly calmed his mood and continued listening. Elder 18 didn't seem to notice Hong's reaction at all and continued, the crown prince of my clan and several other young experts are adventuring this place. After you enter, immediately find a way to gather with them. Ask them to do everything possible to get rid of these people. I will lead the clan members to guard at the Chaos Demon Sea's periphery. As long as they dare to show up, it will be a dead end. Hong immediately understood the Elder 18's intention and was immediately overjoyed. If Crown Prince Crocodile were there, then Yi Shiwen would be dead with no chance to survive. In front of the mighty Crown Prince Crocodile, Yi Shiwen couldn't survive. Whether they came out or not, Yi Shiwen and the group would end up dead. Although he could not kill Yi Shiwen personally with his own hands, he couldn't care less. If this continued, the inner demon in his heart would become more robust. Self-destruct was even possible. Moreover, he also knew very well that he was unmatched to Yi Shiwen. Being able to gain a helping hand was enough for him. Chapter 9:16. Chapter 9:16. Inexplicable hostility after a full day. The three were able to fly to the area outside Chaos Demon Sea. Boom! Just at the periphery area, the three of them could feel a terrifying demon wind blowing out of it. It turned the surrounding spiritual energy into a demon aura. Yi Shiwen could even hear the roar of the demonic beasts. The demon aura did not just infect the sea clans and turn them into sea demon clans. The aura had also evolved many vicious beasts into demonic sea beasts. They were more bestial as compared to the ordinary ferocious sea beasts. Especially in an environment like Chaos Demon Sea, the demonic sea beasts were definitely a terrifying race second only to the sea demon clans. The three did not directly enter Chaos Demon Sea, but went to the nearby Chaos Demon City. This was a city rooted in the entire Chaos Demon Sea. Those who would wish to enter and leave would stop at this place to gain supplies. The three of them went straight into the Chaos Demon City. The scene of the city was still chaotic. The entry of the three did not attract anyone's attention. Yao Qian came to the Chaos Demon City once. It was much better than being blind in this city. Probably due to the demon aura, the city was much more chaotic than outside. There were no rules here. If there was only one rule, whoever had a giant fist make the call. Just less than a quarter of an hour after entering Chaos Demon City, Yi Shiwen encountered two fights, and even one of them had a death case. Because of this, everyone looked at this situation indifferently. No one came forward to take care of this matter. It was precisely because of this that Yi Shiwen could see the chaos within Chaos Demon Sea. It was more chaotic than he thought. If the Chaos Demon City were already chaotic, then Chaos Demon Sea would be hell. It would be a place with no rules at all. Anyone could be transformed into a demon because without any rules, everyone's ambitions would be magnified countless times in an instant. Even people were getting infected by demon aura because of their heart's ambitions and evolved into human demons or new sea demons. They would become terrifying killers wandering in the Chaos Demon Sea, specializing in hunting sea clans or human clan experts. In Chaos Demon City, there was no distinction between the human clan and sea clan because there was no need at all. Everyone came to Chaos Demon City with only one purpose, and everyone was a competitor. It's interesting here. No one rules this place. Seeing this chaotic scene, Bai Hanmo was not worried. On the contrary, he was even vaguely excited. He was a lawless kid, hating all the rules and constraints. I like this place. Yao Qian didn't answer. They just took the two of them into a hotel and waited quietly. Sister Yao, what are we doing here? Why aren't we leaving? Asked by Hanmo. Yi Xuan also looked at Yao Qian, but believed that Yao Qian must have her reasons. Otherwise, she would never do so. You'll find out in a while. Yao Qian just smiled faintly. The three of them waited for a full half an hour. Bai Hanmo was a little impatient. At this time, there was a bold voice from the first floor of the restaurant. Why Sister Yao didn't come to us when she returned to Chaos Demon City? Accompanied by this bold voice, a series of footsteps came from the bottom of the building. Three figures appeared in everyone's eyes. It was a combination of two men and one woman. The headed person was a middle-aged man with brown hair and a beard. He looked sturdy, with a hearty smile on his face. Behind him was a young man, about 20 years old. He dressed in a Chinese robe with a slight excitement on his face, looking straight at Yao Qian. Beside him, there was a woman in her 20s with an ordinary appearance, but she had a bit of sassy air on her. She had a woman's vibe that a typical woman did not have. The three people quickly imprinted in the eyes of the three Yi Xiwen. Yi Zaiwen's heart moved. Hearing the words of the middle-aged man headed by the head, he could almost tell that Yao Qian was an old acquaintance. It was not the first time Yao Qian came to Chaos Demon Sea. This was already the second time. Presumably, this should be the friend she met when she came last time. This was not surprising. At this time, Yi Xiwen finally realized that it was these people who Yao Qian was waiting here this time. The young man became excited at the moment he saw Yao Qian, but when he saw Yi Xiwen and Bai Hanmo next to him, he suddenly became a little gloomy. Sister Yao, who are these people? Bai Hanmo was a little curious, so he asked straightforwardly. Hearing Bai Hanmo's address, the young man was relieved. His hostility toward Bai Hanmo became much less. The remaining hostility fell on Yi Xiwen. Although it was well hidden, Yi Xiwen was sensitive to these. How could this man be able to hide it from him? Almost in a moment, Yi Xiwen was aware of it. Yi Xiwen frowned slightly. Although he didn't know where this young man's hostility came from, he felt the sting in his heart. He didn't know what the misunderstanding was in it, though it was not necessary to him. The important thing was that the young man was hostile to him. However, the origin of these three people was not exact. Most importantly, they were Yao Qian's friends. Yi Xiwen held it in, but he had secretly remembered it in his heart. Let me introduce you. They are the famous demon hunting squad in this Chaos Demon City, the Bear Team. They used to fight alongside me before. This is Captain Xiong Qingji, He Yulong, and my closest sister, Yu Cici. Yao Qian put a slight smile on her face. She immediately introduced, "This is my brother, Bai Hanmo, and this is my friend, Yi Xiwen." Hearing Yi Zaiwen's name, everyone did not respond. Although Yi Xiwen had become famous on sunny Bamboo Island, he was still not heard in Chaos Demon Sea. Even if he had fame in Chaos Demon Sea, it would not move the Bear Team at all. The most indispensable thing in Chaos Demon Sea was such famous people from other places. It could even be said that Chaos Demon Sea was the Flourish Cloud CC region's core area. Warriors who could cross the Chaos Demon Sea would be famous if they were put in other places. Those popular in other places would not necessarily survive in Chaos Demon Sea. In the harsh environment of Chaos Demon Sea, similar to Voodoo Insect Cultivation Ground, many experts had dropped a lot. It was incomparable to other similar forces. However, the quality of experts would be in a constant increase. When Yao Qian said that Bai Hanmo was only his younger brother, He Yulong's face clearly showed a somewhat relaxed expression. The only bit of hostility towards Bai Hanmo disappeared without a trace. On the other hand, he was wary of Yi Xiwen. When he didn't notice, Bai Hanmo threw him a disdainful smile. as if mocking him. Sister Yao, we haven't seen each other for a long time. Since you left the Chaos Demon Sea, I have no news of you anymore. If it weren't our people who saw you appearing today, I'm afraid we will have no way to meet up. Xiong Ziqing, the captain of the bear team, just said with a laugh. He didn't seem to realize the peculiar atmosphere. Yao Qian was different from the people in the bear team. The people in the bear team were professional demon hunters. They hunt sea demons in exchange for sufficient cultivation resources. They might stay in Chaos Demon Sea for life. Yao Qian was different. She had a powerful clan outside of this place. She didn't need to hunt sea demons like these demon hunters in exchange for cultivation resources. The reason why she appeared in Chaos Demon Sea was just for the experience. After the adventure, she would naturally go back. It could even be said that she was a person from another world. I have a lot of work lately. I'm quite busy. Please forgive me. Yao Qian only asked for forgiveness. After her previous adventure in Chaos Demon Sea, she was trained as the heir of Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. All of the affairs in the Chamber of Commerce were utterly handed over to her. If it weren't for the top 100 list competition to begin soon, which pushed her to go for an adventure, she was most likely still dealing with affairs in Sunny Bamboo Chamber of Commerce. Captain Xiong is the one who cared for me the most. To me, he's like a brother. Yao Qian said while facing by Hanmo and Yi Shiwen. She also noticed something wrong with the atmosphere, but she hadn't found out what was wrong. At this time, she was trying to foster a relationship between the two parties. I see. Hearing Yao Qian's words, Bai Hanmo's eyes on Xiong Qingji changed slightly. Hearing this, Xiong Qingji didn't have much pride, only a depressing feeling. Their bear team, among the demon hunter team in the entire Chaos Devil City, could be regarded as quite famous. However, they were in an entirely different world in comparison to the two men following Yao Qian. His words did not carry the same weight as Yao Qian's words. Just because of Yao Qian's words, Bai Hanmo's attitude changed. For him, there was a sense of frustration. He could only comfort himself that they were all newcomers. It was normal that since they had never been to Chaos Devil City, it was natural these bunch had never heard of him. Chapter 9:17. Chapter 9:17. Ambush from the back. Yi Shiwen remained silent and somewhat got an idea about why Yao Qian stopped here. She was probably waiting for the bear team. Like what Yao Qian had said, she would get a team after arriving at the Chaos Demon Sea's perimeter. It should probably be this bear team. After all, only the size of this bear team would meet their requirements. Chaos Demon Sea and Chaos Demon City were disorderly places with no rules governing them. There was only one simple truth. Those having the bigger fist was the king. No city lord was managing the order. The city itself was formed through the congregation of many types of people. There was no strong ruler from the beginning. Even if there were, they would probably be the ones stirring up chaos rather than taking care of the problem. Therefore, under the environment's influence, most of the people here were like the demon clan. Cunning, cruel, and all kinds of negative words could be reflected in them. Therefore, even if in a temporary team, betrayal would take place. In just an instant, the team would fall apart. Most of the time, the reason was the uneven distribution of the spoils. Therefore, it was paramount to handpick a qualified teammate who would not betray casually. This bear team had cooperated with Yao Qian in the past. Their cooperation should be quite pleasant. So this time, Yao Qian chose the bear team after entering Chaos Demon Sea again. The reason she waited here was to have the bear team discover her. Thinking of this, Yi Shiwen understood the situation immediately. For him, it didn't matter who he worked with. It wouldn't have much impact on him, but he naturally sought to cooperate with reliable teammates. If the bear team was not bad, Yi Shiwen didn't mind working with them to explore Chaos Demon Sea. After all, they were the local experts here. It was much more convenient and easier with them leading the way. What's the deal? Sister Yao wants to have an adventure at Chaos Demon Sea again this time, asked Xiong Ziqing. Yao Qian's intention was evident since she returned to Chaos Demon City and appeared in their sight. And Yao Qian didn't hide anything, but just said with a faint smile, "We are going to have an adventure in the Chaos Demon Sea again. I wonder if Captain Xiongbear has the time." Hearing Yao Qian's words, Xiong Zhiqing frowned slightly. He appeared troubled. It will be the best if Sister Yao joins our bear team, but now most of our bear team members are all scattered, and all have their respective tasks. The only ones here at this time are the three of us. If Sister Yao is not in a hurry, it's best to wait another month or two. They shall return as soon as they can, Xiong Zhiqing said. At that time, we will have more confidence to enter the Chaos Demon Sea. 1 or 2 months was just a short time for a transcendent realm powerhouse with a lifespan of 10,000 years. Hence, waiting for a few months should be nothing at all. It's fine to have only 3 for the team. With another 3 on our side, we will have the 6-person team, said Yao Qian directly. She could not afford any delay. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan must have discovered that they left quietly. At this time, the opposing clan must have laid a trap and waited for them. They might be entering Chaos Demon City at any second. In this case, the trio must leave as soon as possible. Otherwise, the enemies would catch up at any time. Xiong Zhiqing noticed Yao Qian was in a hurry. In that case, the 3 of us will accompany Sister Yao to Chaos Demon Sea. Sister Yao came to Chaos Demon Sea this time to gain experience for the upcoming Top 100 competition, right? During this period, many young experts are coming here because of this reason. The ordinary-looking woman, UCC, said. Yao Qian nodded and did not deny. Hearing Yao Qian's words, the rest of the bear team understood the hurry. Since that's the case, let's not delay any further and enter Chaos Demon Sea quickly, said Xiong Zhiqing. He noticed Yao Qian's anxiety, so he didn't speak much and concluded the conversation. It's fine to go to Chaos Demon Sea, but Chaos Demon Sea is not a place that everyone can go to. If you are not strong enough, you will only die in the sea demon's hands. It is better not to go. He Yulong barged in abruptly. His target was Yi Shiwen. Although he did not state it clearly, the person with insufficient strength was referring to Yi Shiwen. Only Yi Shiwen seemed to have the lowest cultivation, merely Transcendent Realm 3rd level. At this time, he put forward such a statement with only one purpose: to exclude Yi Shiwen. It was not that Transcendent Realm 3rd level couldn't enter Chaos Demon Sea. As long as a warrior attained the Transcendent Realm, the warrior could enter Chaos Demon Sea. There were even some half-step Transcendent Realm warriors having adventure here. Some elites among great sage warriors would roam in Chaos Demon Sea. However, Chaos Demon Sea was also divided into many levels of danger. Warriors with different strengths would go to other places. Due to this, there could be strength distinctions among the team members, but the gap would not be significant. Otherwise, they would not be able to go together. Once they entered a dangerous place, the weaker warrior might die. However, if the team went to an area with inconsiderable danger, it had no benefit to the stronger player, including the loot they could get. Yi Shiwen seemed to be dragging the whole team back. What is wrong with you? Before Yi Shiwen spoke, Bai Hamo spoke immediately and asked directly. I have no other ill intention. If he is not strong enough, he will only slow down our team, said he Yulong. Yulong doesn't have any ill intention. His words are reasonable. If Yi Shiwen is not strong enough, I am afraid he will only drag the whole team down in the end, Xiong Zhiqing said with a slight worry. He had the most credit as the bear team came a long way in the competitive Chaos Demon City. He had always been cautious, preferring to give up rather than doing uncertain things. For the whole team, it was undoubtedly fatal to have a teammate dragging them down. If this is the case, then let's not cooperate, blurted Yi Shiwen. He did not even mention the reason. He had already felt the hostility of He Yulong to him. He held it in because he was Yao Qian's friend. Since the other party was targeting him, Yi Shiwen couldn't bear it anymore. Anyway, no one is irreplaceable in this world. Do we have no one to cooperate with at Chaos Demon City? Yi Shiwen got up and turned around as soon as he finished speaking. He walked out and left these 3 people here without batting an eye. The 3 of their expressions immediately turned ugly and gloomy. No matter what the situation was, being ignored was irritating. Arrogant. Can you come and go as you please? He Yulong felt humiliated. Yi Shiwen belittled him blatantly. His relationship with Yao Qian also enraged He Yulong on the spot. He Yulong launched an attack instantly, throwing a punch at Yi Zaiwen's back. The fist trembled the air violently as it went straight to Yi Zaiwen's back. He Yulong was a little proud since he had the strength at Transcendent Realm 6th level. At his age, he was outstanding among his peers. Shameless! Bai Hanmo suddenly roared and was about to take action. Yao Qian, who was beside him, also frowned in anger. He Yulong made a move disregarding her. It made her furious. Before Bai Hanmo reacts to the incoming punch to Yi Zaiwen's back, Yi Shiwen turned around and punched out. Between his 5 fingers, the golden divine light surged out instantly, forming a golden punch. It collided with the incoming punch immediately. Bang! There was no hesitation in the 2 punches. The immense collision morphed into a massive energy ball. After a short pause, the energy ball began to sweep in all directions. Boom! Above this restaurant, countless warriors were scared away. The tables and chairs were utterly crushed. Fortunately, the entire building was not shattered. It appeared that because fights happened in Chaos Demon City every day, the buildings here were also exceptionally strong, far stronger than the outside world. Yi Zaiwen's golden fist impact resembled a sharp blade, breaking away He Yulong's fist momentum without any hindrance. It blasted directly on He Yulong's body. Boom! He Yulong spouted out blood. His figure resembled a kite with a broken string. He flew upside down and crashed directly into the wall. You! How dare you strike such a vicious blow? Yu Cece was cold, standing in front of Yi Shiwen. She said, flustered and exasperated. Seeing her companion that was with her for a long time, she lost her rationality immediately. If it weren't for Yao Qian's sake, I would have beaten him to death with a single blow. He dares ambush me from the back. He is nothing in my eye. Yi Shiwen sneered, but he didn't lie. His punch was terrifying, especially after completing the meteor explosion technique. During the deduction, he also had a deeper understanding of Shattered Star Fist. The fist impact was much stronger than that in the past. Chapter 9:18. Chapter 9:18. To Chaos Demon Sea, if Yi Shiwen did not give mercy, He Yulong was already killed on the spot. Although He Yulong had already entered the Transcendent Realm 6th level, he was outmatched by Yi Hong. He even had a significant gap with Chai Jianbin. After 2 consecutive battles, Yi Zaiwen's strength had greatly improved. He had undergone growth, seemingly invincible at the Transcendent Realm 6th level. Yi Zaiwen's question made Yu Cece flushed. She could not retort at all. At the spur of the moment, she went to Yi Zaiwen's question just now. After gaining back her rationality, she knew He Yulong was at fault in this situation, no matter what. It couldn't be helped. If He Yulong won just now, she could raise the narration that He Yulong had keen eyes in realizing that Yi Shiwen was a burden. The reality happened otherwise. He suffered a fatal injury in Yi Zaiwen's hands. In the end, it was him inflicting shame on himself. Impossible! Blood dripped at the corner of He Yulong's mouth. His eyes were filled with disbelief and shock. As a Transcendent Realm 6th level, he couldn't imagine that he would lose to a Transcendent Realm 3rd level warrior. It was simply impossible in his worldview. In his perception, Transcendent Realm 6th level was distinctive to Transcendent Realm 3rd level. There was a significant gap between both sides. One was Transcendent Realm Initial, and the other was Transcendent Realm Intermediate. The difference was like heaven and earth. However, he was unmatched to Yi Shiwen. Worse still, there was no intense battle. Yi Zaiwen defeated him utterly. He had no excuses for his defeat. It was what it was. His ambush on Yi Zaiwen's back did not change anything. The defeat was evident as it was. This tilted his inherent outlook on life. He had not suffered much damage due to Yi Zaiwen's mercy. What he found unacceptable was having nothing to fight back. On the other side, Xiong Ziqing's face was also ugly at this time. In any case, He Yulong was a member of his bear team. After all, he was beaten by outsiders and could not fight back. It brought shame to him. Captain Xiong, what is going on? Yao Qian stepped forward, staring at Xiong Ziqing, and said, although she had a pleasant cooperation with the bear team before, what happened made her furious. He Yulong attacked from behind. It was despicable. Worse still, he was not attacking an enemy, but a possible collaborator in the future. Excuse me, Yulong is just assessing this little brother's strength. After all, it is dangerous to enter the Chaos Demon Sea. If he is weak, he will only drag the whole team down. You have also entered once. So, I think you should be able to understand our caution. Xiong Ziqing sighed. He was well aware it was all because of Yao Qian. It was well known in the bear team that Yulong liked Yao Qian. Yi Shiwen, the young man who appeared next to Yao Qian, became a thorn in his eye. After all, it was because he liked Yao Qian too much. But Captain Xiong wouldn't be able to say it out, so he grabbed an excuse. Yao Qian thought for a moment. It was not the first time that she came to Chaos Demon Sea. Naturally, she knew what kind of place Chaos Demon Sea was. It was indeed a dangerous place. If one were to be lackluster, it would be digging his own grave. Xiong Ziqing's words made sense, but what Yulong did still made her furious. She could not swallow her anger. After all, she led Yi Shiwen here. If you disregard the monk, be respectful to the Buddha one. Yi Shiwen did not deal a heavy blow in respect of her. However, Yulong treated Yi Shiwen harshly. It was like doubting her. Even so, can you sneak attack on others from behind? Not to mention that you can't win with a sneak attack. If I were him, I would suicide. Bai Hanmo sneered on the side, seemingly disdainful toward Yulong's behavior. Yulong, who had already suffered a defeat, puked another mouthful of blood after having heard this. He was so angry that he fainted directly. Bai Hanmo showed scornful and disdainful expression. He seemed to be insinuating that Yulong was useless. With simple words, Yulong couldn't stand it anymore. Neither Xiong Ziqing nor Yu Sisi had anything to say about it. After all, Yulong's surprise attack from behind was a fact. They couldn't do anything about it. At this time, they could only complain that Yulong lost his mind and committed such a thing. Even if he liked Yao Qian, he shouldn't do that. Well, let's reduce the share we take by 10% if we enter the Chaos Demon Sea. What do you think? Xiong Ziqing said as he gritted his teeth. Like the young experts who came in from outside, they liked to work with the local experts in Chaos Demon City. After all, the local experts had a lot of experience and knew a lot of hidden secrets. If they could cooperate with the local experts, their risk of dying would considerably decline. These local experts were also willing to cooperate with these outsiders. Those who dared to enter Chaos Demon Sea must be the elite. They must be the best in the same realm and even among the peers. Coupled with the local experts' experience and the foreigner's strength, it would often be a fruitful adventure. Yao Qian was undoubtedly someone they sought. Yi Shiwen just now made the best display of his strength with this punch. He was a guy who was not easy to mess with. But it was precise because of this that the bear team was even more reluctant to give up. Generally speaking, the ratio of outsiders and local experts splitting the loot was 40% and 60%, respectively. Equal share for both sides was common too. A reduction of 10% could also be regarded as Xiong Ziqing's compromise. 20%. Otherwise, there is no point in discussing this matter. Yi Shiwen said on behalf of Yao Qian at this time. He could see that Yao Qian was in a dilemma in this matter. After all, the previous cooperation between the bear team was pleasant. Yi Shiwen didn't mind acting as the bad guy right now. Yao Qian was about to speak, but she didn't add on when Yi Shiwen said something. Fine, 20%. Although it had been reduced by 20%, Xiong Ziqing also thought it was worth it. After all, such an opportunity was relatively rare. If the bear team did not cooperate with the trio, many people in the city sought this cooperation. Although the strength of the bear team was good, they were not the only demon hunting squad. Without them, the trio could seek cooperation from others. With their strength, they would be sought after. This kind of cooperation between the demon hunting squad and an outsider was frequent in Chaos Demon City. The only problem was that there were no rules at all in Chaos Demon City and Chaos Demon Sea. No restrictions existed. There could be situations in which both parties face off each other. It was not easy to find a familiar and trustworthy teammate. In this Chaos Demon Sea, some outsiders were led to remote places by those demon hunting squads. They would be wiped out, However, there were also demon hunting squads surrounded by those cunning outsiders and got wiped out. It was challenging to obtain mutual trust. Therefore, Yao Qian was determined to meet with the bear team. Captain Xiong felt guilty to Yao Qian in his heart. He didn't expect that He Yulong would do such a thing. Hence, he agreed as compensation. Right? I have one last request. I don't want this fellow to get involved. I don't want to see him around anymore, said Yi Shiwen, pointing to He Yulong, who had passed out in a coma on the ground. No problem. Wouldn't it be too few people with only the 5 of us? Doubted Xiong Ziqing. Having one person short would bring a significant impact on the overall strength of the entire team. It doesn't matter. It would not affect much, said Yi Shiwen. Xiong Ziqing and Yu Cixi had no way to refute. After all, He Yulong had almost no power to fight back in Yi Zaiwen's hands. It appeared that missing one did not hinder the team. And Yao Qian nodded and said, our top priority now is to enter the Chaos Demon Sea quickly. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts might be here at any time. The trio didn't have much time to delay. Okay, let's set off right away, Xiong Ziqing said when they saw both Yi Shiwen and Yao Qian seem hurried. He Yulong was quickly taken back by those outer members of the bear team, while the 5 of them did not stop for a moment and went directly to Chaos Demon Sea. Half a day after the team left, the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan experts had arrived. The leader was none other than Yihong. Yihong rushed into Chaos Demon City with a gloomy look. Chaos Demon City was not Chaos Demon Sea. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile Clan also has some influence at this place. Yihong's arrival mobilized most of the clan's forces. Soon, Yihong knew that Yi Shiwen and others had left not long ago. Damn bitch, Yihong whispered viciously. He then directly sent a transmission talisman and contacted the Crown Prince Crocodile in Chaos Demon Sea. He was determined to hunt Yi Shiwen down in Chaos Demon Sea. Chapter 919. Chapter 919. Purple Ghost Fire Lotus in a vast demon sea. 5 figures appeared. In front of them, a massive and vicious sea beast was relentless. As its enormous body continued to turn and twist, a monstrous wave was set off. The wave launched water swords that rushed to the 5 people standing atop the demon sea. In this endless demon sea, dense demon auras were boiling frantically. TSK, the human powerhouse's flesh and blood are the best, the massive demonic sea beast said. His laughter was wild. Before he could continue to attack, Yi Shiwen had already made a move. A fiery long saber grew larger and larger in the sky. Until the end, it slashed downward with an uncontested momentum. The wheezing slash was deafening. The boundless demon aura was cut in half instantly. Puff! The intimidating and massive demonic sea beast was so vulnerable. It couldn't withstand a single blow from Yi Shiwen. It was directly beheaded in half with blood spurted out. The massive body broke into 2 halves and fell directly from the sky into the sea, setting off another monstrous wave. The massive demonic sea beast was at Transcendent Realm 5th level, which was nothing to a true expert. However, it didn't recognize the disparity in strength and coveted this team's idea. Yi Shiwen slashed it in half with a saber. Yi Shiwen opened his palm. A blood-dyed ray came out of Yi Zaiwen's palm. Yi Shiwen absorbed all flesh and blood in that massive demonic sea beast in a Tianyuan mirror instantly. Only the skin remained. Yi Shiwen immediately grabbed the 9-1. Yi Shiwen swallowed it directly into his body. The demonic sea beast's vigor and blood essence were all absorbed by Tianyuan mirror, which then transformed into pure energy and instilled into Yi Zaiwen's body. Yi Shiwen felt his cultivation grew a bit stronger. Insuppressible elation was revealed on his face. Such harvest was only plausible in Chaos Demon Sea. After all the creatures in Chaos Demon Sea, including the sea clans and demonic sea beasts, had half of the demon bloodline. They could be regarded as half a demon clan, so Yi Shiwen could absorb the flesh and blood's essence to enhance his energy. After only a few days in Chaos Demon Sea, his cultivation had greatly improved. He had progressed a lot from Transcendent Realm 3rd level initial. At this rate, he would reach Transcendent Realm 3rd level peak in a month. With that, it opened the opportunity for him to attain Transcendent Realm 4th level. His foresight told him that after reaching Transcendent Realm 4th level, his combat power would be comparable to Transcendent Realm 7th level. It would be a significant increment. The rest of the team was used to it. In the past few days, everyone had become accustomed to what they had witnessed. For everyone, even if it was only Transcendent Realm 5th level, it was still a demonic sea beast after all. With its massive body size, it had become a formidable opponent, which the average Transcendent Realm 6th level experts struggled to deal with. Although any team members could slay this demonic sea beast, it would never be as simple and easy as Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen defeated the demonic sea beast with merely one slash, ultimately catching the demonic sea beast off guard. It had no way to resist. They didn't know that Yi Shiwen possessed the Tianyuan mirror and extraordinary ability to restrain the demon race bloodline. Even if the demon race was stronger than Yi Shiwen could completely restrain them with Tianyuan mirror. This was the fundamental reason why Yi Shiwen frequently hunted after he came to Chaos Demon Sea. The Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan would never let him off easily. He was required to improve his strength continually. Absorbing the demonic sea beast's blood essence was undoubtedly the most effective way to do so. Therefore, Yi Shiwen chose to kill more powerful demonic sea beasts and absorb their vigor and blood essence so that his cultivation could quickly advance in a Transcendent Realm 3rd level peak. Yi Shiwen occupied the vigor and blood essence of the demonic sea beast alone, including the Niden. Yet, the others had nothing to say. Yi Shiwen did not lay his hand on the martial art instruments and spirit crystals on the Sea Demon Clan experts. He left all these items to them. Of course, Bai Hanmo and Yao Qian didn't mind. For Xiong Jiqing and UCC of the Bear team, they were satisfied with the distributions. Although these demonic sea beasts were powerful, their flesh and blood were not useful. It was all due to their demon clan bloodline. The average person couldn't ingest them directly at all. Otherwise, they would be prone to chi deviation. The Naiden's effect was limited. Therefore, the loot distribution was the most optimum for them. In general, everyone got what they needed. With professional demon hunters like Xiong Jiqing and UCC, Yi Shiwen and others took lesser detours. They even avoided Sea Clan experts' ambushes several times. They all evacuated first because Xiong Jiqing and UCC had discovered the encirclement early. Otherwise, it would be another challenging and bloody battle. But even so, the team was still going through various battles frequently every day due to Chaos Demon Sea's chaotic situation. After gaining battle experiences, there was a significant improvement for the entire team. Yao Qian made rapid progress. While fighting and comprehending her martial art technique, she absorbed the energy in the previously ingested pellets. Her cultivation increased rapidly. At this rate, she could reach the Transcendent Realm 7th level before the top 100 competition. In that case, she would be in the lead among the younger generation of experts. Her placement in the top 20 was almost guaranteed. Bai Hanmo's progress was outstanding too. His talent was robust already. After years of training and accumulation, what he lacked was battle experiences. In the battle, his accumulation throughout the years hard turned fruitful. It rapidly turned into growth and cultivation. Therefore, the trio's gains were basically at cultivation growth. For Xiong Jiqing and UCC, their gains were mostly martial art instruments. Both parties got what they wanted in this cooperation. Everyone was satisfied. It was a gluttonous feast for Yi Shiwen. Time went by in this manner. 3 months had passed. During the 3 months, Yi Shiwen, Yao Qian, and others wandered in the Chaos Demon Sea's outer area, almost at the edge. They dared not dive deeper into the place. They said that the demonic sea beast clan's higher-ups gathered in the depths of Chaos Demon Sea. That place was well recognized as a gathering place for many law manifestation experts who had surpassed the Transcendent Realm. Although Yi Shiwen wanted to improve quickly, he was not an idiot who was ignorant of his limits. But even if it was only in the outer area, it was still dangerous. They even encountered a terrifying, transcendent realm 9 levels demonic sea beast lurking in the outer area. At that time, it was hunting for food. Although there was a far distance, everyone felt this horrifying monster's existence and did not approach it. In addition to the transcendent realm 9th level demonic sea beast, Yi Shiwen and others also encountered the existence at transcendent realm 8th level several times. These formidable opponents included demonic sea beast clans and sea demon clans. The situation was thrilling, but fortunately, the experienced Xiong Jiqing was with the team. So every time at the moment they were about to be discovered, everyone escaped in time. On this day, in an underground oceanic trench, a dark and translucent lotus flower bloomed. "Is this purple ghost fire lotus?" It was Cece's exclamation. Astonishment flashed in her eyes. "What is purple ghost fire lotus?" Bai Hanmo asked. "This is a rare natural treasure. It has a purple color and is translucent. For the Sea Demon clan, it is a tonic supplement. The Transcendent Realm Sea Demon clans would raise their level by 1 if they were to ingest it. Any flower bloom of its kind is rare. Countless Sea Demon clan experts and even demonic sea beasts will fight for it. Every time it appears, there will be a bloodbath." Throughout the lotus flower encounters recorded in Chaos Demon Sea, each harvest is accompanied with the death of many sea demonic clan experts and demonic sea beasts. Xiong Jiqing explained dutifully. "It's a pity that purple ghost fire lotus is a lethal poison for humans, unlike its tonic property to the sea demon clans and demonic sea beasts. The purple ghost fire lotus can only bloom under dense demon auras. With that, there's a lot of demon aura in it. If a human swallows it directly, it will collapse the qi and dantian in the body." Everyone felt the flower was quite precious, with its excellent property to advance their cultivation by 1 level. However, after learning that the treasure was only for the Sea Demon clan, everyone was naturally less interested than they initially were. After all, there would be a terrible ramification for the human race. "Yi Shiwen, get your hands on that purple ghost fire lotus quickly." Yimo's voice abruptly appeared in Yi Zaiwen's ear. "Have you ascended successfully?" Yi Shiwen asked in surprise. "Nope. I was startled by the aura emitted from the purple ghost fire lotus." Yimo continued. "I'm quite sensitive to the demon aura." "You mean we can assimilate it with the Tianyuan mirror?" Yi Shiwen had a great tacit understanding with Yimo after all these years. He instantly understood Yimo's intention. Although there was no way for ordinary humans to absorb it, it was a completely different case for Yi Shiwen, who owned the Tianyuan mirror. But just when Yi Shiwen was about to ask for this purple ghost fire lotus, which no one was interested in, a burst of frantic laughter came from not far away. "Ha ha, I didn't expect to discover the purple ghost fire lotus by just tailing a few humans." Chapter 920. Chapter 920. Inevitable Battle. "Ha! I didn't expect to discover purple ghost fire lotus by just following a few humans." An ecstatic voice came from behind. The team was immediately alerted. They all turned their heads to look at the sound source. It was a demonic sea beast clan expert with a pair of huge fin wings. He was wrapped in dark blue scales. He appeared in front of the crowd with a somewhat ecstatic smile. He exuded an unusually dangerous aura. Everyone's expressions suddenly changed. "When did the demonic sea beast clan experts start tailing us? Why didn't we sense anything? We don't even know we were being followed." Even Xiong Jiqing, a veteran demon hunter, hadn't noticed it. This was rare. Xiong Jiqing, a veteran demon hunter, discovered the Transcendent Realm 8th level monsters several times. It prevented the team from meeting up with the Transcendent Realm 8th level demonic sea beasts. But now he did not realize the team had been followed. Xiong Ziqing's face looked ugly. In Chaos Demon Sea, it was tough to survive. Besides having powerful strength, the most important thing was to be cautious. Naturally, he and the bear team did not have such tyrannical strength. To survive, he had always been cautious. But unexpectedly, he was still being followed, which was a shame to him. "I'm so lucky." The demonic sea beast clan expert laughed weirdly. I gotta have a few more human heads collections. This trip is so fruitful. Haha. Human heads collection. Xiong Jiqing seemed to have thought of something. You are? Manslaughter by Een. Hearing Xiong Ziqing's words, even Yu Cici's expression turned ugly, as if this name possessed a terrifying deterrent. I didn't expect you to know my name. Great. Die obediently. No one can escape from me. The demonic sea beast clan expert laughed sinisterly. I will have your head as a precious collection. The manslaughter's expression was distorted, crazy. It put chills on the witnesses. We're done for. We met a disaster. This is the end, Cici said in a panic. Horror flashed in her eyes. Is this manslaughter scary? Hamo asked. Of course he is scary. No human expert had escaped from him. I don't know what his origin is. He suddenly emerged 20 years ago and madly slaughtered the humans in the Chaos Demon Sea. Some Sea Clan experts escaped from him, but no human expert escaped, Cici said in horror. Although he is just at Transcendent Realm 7th level, he's considered a veteran in the realm. Transcendent Realm 8th level experts were unable to defeat him. He massacred hundreds of human experts at one time and alerted a Transcendent Realm 9th level human expert. After a pursuit lasted for 3,000 miles, he ran away. As soon as these words came out, the faces of the trio immediately became serious. Being able to escape from the Transcendent Realm 9th level expert, this strength and experience were shocking enough. The most important thing was that he seemed to be a demonic sea beast that harbored humans' great hatred. For human clan experts, he had never been merciful. Everyone knew that this was a severe problem. They had no choice but to fight to the death. It was fight or die. The team had no way out because even if they gave up this purple ghost fire lotus, it was impossible to escape from him. The only outcome was to fight to the death. Let me handle it. You take the others to run away. At this time, Xiong Jiqing gritted his teeth and said. A powerful aura surged on his body. It swept away in all directions. Xiong Jiqing was a Transcendent Realm 7th level expert. He had been hiding very well in the past with no one discovering this. Yi Shiwen also looked at Xiong Jiqing in surprise. Xiong Jiqing had always been cautious. This was the ultimate trump card he left for himself. Yi Shiwen thought each team member would reserve their trump card, but he didn't expect that trump card to be such a big surprise. You want to flee? Can you? Manslaughter by Een laughed and said. Dense demon chi swept across the oceanic trench in an instant. I have already placed a net here. If I don't defuse it, there is no possibility for you all to escape. The team gasped in shock. Bain was ruthless and meticulous. He was a murderous psychopath, leaving no chance for his prey to escape. Fight with him. I don't believe that he can fight with all of us. Hamo yelled, especially Xiong Jiqing, who was also a Transcendent Realm 7th level expert. It gave him a lot of encouragement. It was only now that he understood a little the world was more dangerous than he imagined. There were not only warriors inferior to him in the world. Many of them were more powerful than him. Facing such an elite, he was not as relaxed as before. His playful attitude had gone entirely. Flee quickly. They'll stop him. Otherwise, none of us can flee. Xiong Jiqing gritted his teeth and roared. He is not an opponent that can be defeated by relying on number advantage. Although he is a lunatic without a doubt, he is a madman with brilliant talent. Lunatic, haha, I like this name. Bain laughed wildly. But it is you humans who made me like this. A scene emerged in front of his eyes. There were flames and blood washing a demonic sea beast clan small village. Scenes of broken limbs and bloodbaths were alternating. A vicious beast's roar was heard in the distance, heralding the beginning of sin. Death was followed by the broken bridge, accompanied by clouds of black smoke rose. One could not see the end of darkness. Flames of chaos. The ugly sides of humans brought destruction. Some human experts incarnated as demons invade every inch of space arrogantly. A demonic sea beast clan's child looked at this devastated world, heard the most desperate roars and sounds of despair in the world. He stared at the dark sky and could not find an exit. Both his hands were trembling, unable to grasp the fading life of his surrounding clansmen. He felt so weak, his eyes became bloodshot. This scene lingered in his mind for a long time. It could no longer be wiped away. In Chaos Demon Sea, such a scene was staged every moment. It was either the human clan experts wiped out, or the sea clan fleet annihilated, or even the demonic sea beast clan village wholly slaughtered. There was no such thing as justice or evil. Everything that happened was meant for survival. The experience of these years also made him see beyond life and death. But why did such a thing happen to me? Now that I am so unfortunate, then other people must be more unfortunate than me. Hatred quickly filled all of his minds. His eyes projected a cruel and oppressive glint. His hands instantly emitted blood-dyed glimmers. On the other hand, Xiong Ziqing's aura was gradually becoming more vigorous. Xiong Ziqing said with unprecedented seriousness, "Leave quickly. Otherwise, I'm afraid you won't be able to leave. Even if it's me, I'm afraid I can't resist for long. Cece, go back and tell everyone that I am not a good captain. Everyone can choose a better captain in the future." "Captain," 2 lines of tears dripped from Cece's pair of eyes. It quickly merged into the seawater and was washed away by the restless seawater. "You want to stop me? Old man, are you kidding me?" Bain laughed wildly. He launched his figure instantly, forming a blood light in front of him, splitting the seawater on his path in half. In an instant, it turned into a ball of blood-dyed light and rushed in front of Xiong Ziqing, where the massive fist bombarded instantly. Boom! The seawater seemed to be tossed over in an instant. A shockwave exploded in the boundless sea, which caused the oceanic trench to tremble crazily. Boom! Xiong Ziqing crossed his hands and firmly blocked Bain's attack, but his figure was directly blasted away for more than 10 meters. Blood spurted at the corner of his mouth, dyeing the surrounding seawater crimson red. His figure trembled slightly, but he quickly recovered. "Go!" Xiong Ziqing roared with blood in his mouth. "I can't hold him for long." It was worse than holding him off for long. When he received Bain's fanatical punch, his body was severely wounded. The fist impact almost knocked him out. He could hardly imagine that this was the Transcendent Realm's 7th level strength. He once fought against a Transcendent Realm 8th level expert, but he didn't feel such a brutal force. "You have sustained 1 punch of mine. Not bad, old man. But this is far from over." Bain was a little surprised. He didn't expect Xiong Ziqing to be able to block his punch, but it was nothing to him. His figure darted out again, summoning a tide of monstrous blood waves. The terrifying fist pressure directly blasted the seawater yet again. Chapter 9:21. Chapter 9:21. Yi Shiwen making the move by Bain was swift, but his power was terrifying at the same time. Under this punch, the seawater that weighed more than 1,000 pounds was utterly overturned. It was almost like a piece of white paper being flipped over. With the help of the waves, it became even more terrifying. Xiong Ziqing's hand shot a light beam that covered half of the sky. It firmly caught this terrifying fist impact, preventing it from spreading. However, his figure was blown out again. It took more than 10 meters to stabilize his figure. "Old man, let me see how many punches of mine can you block." Bain's speed rose by another margin. At the same time, his spirit instantly locked Yi Shiwen and others to prevent them from escaping. If there were any fleeing signs, he would immediately chase over to kill them. He was like a cat, toying with his prey. It felt effortless. However, if the mouse were to escape, it would deliver the killing blow. Among the people present, Cece, the weakest, had also entered the Transcendent Realm's 6th level, while Yao Qian and Bai Hanmo were both considered the pride of their respective forces. When had they toyed like a mouse? But the opponent's intention was blatant. He was teasing them like prey that was firm in his grasp. But no matter how angry the team was, there was no way. The opponent was too strong. Although Xiong Ziqing was also at Transcendent Realm 7th level, it was apparent he had to go all out to stop Bain, let alone fight against Bain. It was simply impossible for him. Because of this, Bai didn't intend to go all out. He was toying the team before killing them off. Boom! Xiong Ziqing had blasted out again. He no longer knows how many times he was bombarded. Every time he stood up unsteadily, Bai would blast him out again. Bai could kill him, but the madman didn't make the final blow and tortured him until he couldn't hold on anymore. The lunatic was going all out to torture his spirit. He was not satisfied with just crushing his body. The madman wanted to overwhelm his spirit completely. It would bring him a twisted sense of pleasure. Captain, on the side, Cece was already breaking down into tears, but she was helpless with the situation. Xiong Ziqing would not let her come forward. Tisk, old man, I didn't expect you to be able to hold on till now. It's amazing. Bai sneered. It's just that I don't have any fun anymore. It will now kill you and send you to the afterlife. The horrifying blood-colored light on him became more intense. His cruel eyes were like statics. It stung Captain Xiong coldly. The blood-colored eyes were chilly. The playful attitude was no longer there, only cold, killing intent. He suddenly grabbed out with both hands, as if his grip was about to shatter the universe. Murderous intent leaked out indefinitely. The vast and boundless killing intent made the onlooker breathless. Everyone was horrified. Is this the strength that an ordinary transcendent realm 7th level expert can possess? Even Xiong Ziqing's initial momentum was incomparable to Bai. There was a considerable gap. Is he just a transcendent realm 7th level warrior? Even UCC suspected that Bai was not a transcendent realm 7th level warrior, but a top transcendent realm 8th level expert. His claws turned into a monstrous cage with an unmatched momentum. It instantly suppressed Xiong Ziqing. He had lost all patience and was about to behead Xiong Ziqing on the spot. An unprecedented, terrifying force crushed Xiong Ziqing's body. The bones on his body even began to make constant crackling sounds, as if they would be crushed into pieces in the next moment. A monstrous fiery saber aura fell from the sky and slashed on the massive hand at this critical moment. Dang! There was a loud crash, which directly set off terrifying air turbulence, rushing out the sea for several miles. The terrible collision of two forces directly set off an incomparable airwave, especially the flame airwave. It evaporated countless seawater in an instant. However, since they were on the seabed, a great volume of seawater evaporated here. Soon, the surrounding seawater quickly replenished the empty spot in this seabed. The seawater was endless, after all. Although the saber slash could not harm this demon claw, in the end, it bought some time for Xiong Ziqing. Xiong Ziqing took advantage of this time to finally escape the attack range of this demon claw. A figure appeared directly in front of Xiong Ziqing. Brat, you dare to go against me. I originally planned to kill you later. It looks like you can't wait to die. Bai just sneered and looked at Yi Shiwen as if looking at a dead person. His corner revealed his indifference and cruelty. For him, the game time was over. The rest of the time was for slaughter. Didn't I ask you to flee? Xiong Ziqing only noticed at this time that Yi Shiwen and the others were still there. He was forced to deal with Bai with all his strength just now. He was unable to pay attention to whether Yi Shiwen and others had left. Seeing Yi Shiwen coming back at this time, he put him at fault. This was an opportunity he intended to exchange with his own life. These people didn't cherish it and came back. Can we leave? Yi Shiwen had a bitter smile at the corner of his mouth. Did he not want to leave? Nope, but there was no other way. If they were to escape, Xiong Ziqing's desperate move could only stop Bai for a small amount of time. Bai had laid layers of arrays over the oceanic trench. The time was not enough for them to destroy the array and escape. They had no other way. If they didn't want to die, then there was only one way: fight to the death. If Bai did not die, it would be them. As the situation developed to this stage, it was an inevitable battle, a fight to the death. If he doesn't die, then we die, said Yi Shiwen. This was also the fundamental reason why he decided to make a move directly. Ha! This kid is right. If I don't die, none of you get to leave. If you're so capable, kill me. I look forward to it. Bain's face had a weird smile. He seemed a bit lunatic. No one knew what was in his mind. His eyes were bloodshot. His killing intent was detectable even from afar. Yi Shiwen revealed his power bit by bit. He planned to go all out. Hiding his true strength was equivalent to knocking on the death's door. His skin first turned into a bronze color. Entire body was fully activated. A burst of golden divinity exuded onto Yi Zaiwen's skin. The golden brilliance signified an oppressive and powerful force boiling on his body. From a distance, it looked like an overlord cast in gold. Everyone, especially UCC, looked at Yi Shiwen in shock. This was Yi Zaiwen's real strength. What he said was not wrong. He did not go all out against He Yulong. Otherwise, with the horrifying power that was now exposed, He Yulong could be killed easily. Even among them, no one could be Yi Zaiwen's opponent except for Xiong Zhiqing. Xiong Zhiqing was also quite shocked to see Yi Shiwen in gold casting. He knew that Yi Shiwen must have hidden his real strength, but he didn't know Yi Shiwen hid so much. When Yi Shiwen fought against He Yulong, it was less than a quarter of the strength displayed at this moment. The mini-universe in Yi Zaiwen's body also began to spin frantically. This was the result of his observing person scripture running at full capacity. "I will kill you first." Bain gave a weird laugh. His figure broke through the waves and hit Yi Shiwen in front of him. "Be careful," Xiong Zhiqing yelled immediately. But at this time, Bain's offense had already approached Yi Shiwen. His fists were densely covered with demon qi. The qi spun crazily, driving the countless seawater around him to assume a vortex. A water drill bit was formed, and it came to Yi Zaiwen's face. He had no plan to toy with Yi Shiwen at all. He decided to kill him in one fell swoop. At this time, just when everyone thought Yi Shiwen could not react, he finally moved. His fist slammed directly on Bain's fist. Boom! A loud explosion sounded from the impact of the two fists that carried terrifying powers. It turned into a ball of energy, and ripples of energy storms swept out in all directions. The two colliding fists were deadlocked in midair for a long time. Finally, Yi Zaiwen's fist was unable to continue. There was a trace of flaw. This flaw was like domino. Immediately, Yi Zaiwen's punch collapsed utterly. Bain's punch bombarded Yi Shiwen in the end. Boom! With a violent collision, Yi Shiwen only felt that a monstrous force enveloped him. This force covered his whole body. Crackling sounds could be heard. He felt his bones were about to be crushed. Yi Shiwen couldn't get rid of all the power that impacted him. He was directly blasted back a few steps with a trace of blood spilling from the corner of his mouth. Chapter 9:22. Chapter 9:22. The pressing danger in the vast chaos demon sea. A group of warriors flew quickly above the sea. If Yi Shiwen were there, he would probably recognize these warriors. They were the Vanishing Shadow Poisonous Crocodile clan experts. The leading warrior was none other than Yi Hong. The group was entering the chaos demon sea. The young man behind him was also Yi Zaiwen's acquaintance, He Yulong, which he knocked out previously. He Yulong, who was severely injured, had completely recovered. His strength seemed to have escalated to the next level. Behind these two was a tall figure wearing a black cloak with a looming demon aura wrapped around him. 5 figures who dressed similarly were following the cloaked figure. Like the one leading them, they were all faintly entwined with a trace of demon aura. "Are you sure that this route is correct?" Yi Hong asked He Yulong next to him. He appeared a little impatient. After all, it had been a lengthy pursuit, and yet they still couldn't catch up with Yi Shiwen. The current circumstances had worn off their patience. "Yes, we're right in the right direction. We won't be wrong." With a slight panic expression, He Yulong said, "In our team, we usually leave special musk as a mark. Only our team has the unique way of detecting it. The path will not be wrong. It will be fine if that is the case. Otherwise, I will kill you and turn you into our ration." At this time, the leading figure in the black cloak said. His voice was a little hoarse, seemingly ineloquent. He wasn't someone who often spoke much. "Yes, yes." He Yulong nodded quickly. "As long as you complete your task well, The vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan will not mistreat you. Forget about the bear team. It will not be a problem for you to build another team at all. At this time, Yihong promised as he patted his chest. It was just that there was a faint contempt in his gaze toward He Yulong. He thought he hit it well, but He Yulong in front of him had captured it. Everything fell into He Yulong's eyes, crystal clear. A hint of resentment flashed through He Yulong's eyes. Yihong thought the mere human didn't notice his contempt, but in fact, all of this had entered the human's eyes. He Yulong knew it very well that Yihong and the vanishing shadow poisonous crocodile clan experts were using him. Although he was somewhat coerced, his hatred toward Yi Shiwen made him lead the group. Both parties had their plans, conspiring against each other. At this moment, the cooperation was still peaceful. "I have to trouble you this time," Yihong said to the black cloak figure behind him at this time. "It's nothing. It's our duty to resolve the past incidents too. Yi Shiwen dares to challenge our prince. We have the reasons to put him down. Only his insignificant death can clear our name. No matter what, it is better to find him and hunt him down as fast as we can." "I have to return to the crown prince as soon as possible," replied the black cloak figure. "And," Yihong said, "the prince takes Yi Shiwen as a problem in his heart. We need to eliminate him before he grows stronger." The black cloak figure said disdainfully, "Among the younger generations, no one can cause trouble to the prince. Your Highness is peerless. The prince is destined to conquer the Flourish Cloud Sea region." "Yes, indeed. You're absolutely right." Everyone agreed, but God knows what they thought in their hearts. There was a glimmer of surprise in Bai Yin's eyes. Xiong Jiqing was also a Transcendent Realm 7th level expert anyway. It was not surprising that Captain Xiong could block his offense. In his view, Yi Shiwen was nothing but a Transcendent Realm 3rd level expert. It was nothing more than an ant whom he didn't even bat an eye. Logically speaking, Yi Shiwen was outmatched totally. But Yi Shiwen blocked his all-out punch. Although Yi Shiwen kept backing away, this did not conceal the fact that the human did block his punch. A bitter smile flashed on Yi Zaiwen's face. Sure enough, there was still a considerable gap between him and Bai Yin. It could even be said that if it weren't for the tyrant body and the magic of the Phoenix regeneration technique, he could not sustain even an attack from the opponent. After all, the opponent was of a completely different caliber. Since it had come to this, Yi Shiwen had no choice but to put up a desperate fight. With his life at stake, he became more resolute. "Retreat and leave the rest to me." In the time between Yi Zaiwen's sentence, his weakened aura, due to the heavy blow, had been restored to the peak swiftly. Phoenix regeneration technique had become way more potent after assimilating the Phoenix's flame fruit. Xiong Jiqing was relieved to see Yi Shiwen seem to be okay. If Yi Shiwen was also punched to death, then only death awaited the remaining party members. By now, he finally realized that Yi Shiwen was the one who hid himself the deepest among Yao Qian's trio. It was more than hiding the cultivation realm. Xiong Jiqing couldn't hold it at this time. Although he didn't die, blocking Bai Yin's offenses made his body on the verge of collapse. If he were not treated, he would die even without Bai Yin's attack. Be careful. He is stronger than the average Transcendent Realm 7th level expert, reminded Captain Xiong. Although the opponent was only at Transcendent Realm 7th level, he viewed his opponent as more powerful than Transcendent Realm 8th level. "I understand." Yi Shiwen nodded. Although the exchange of blows only took place once, it also made him understand the horror laid within Bai Yin, fearing that the opponent was far beyond his imagination. "Captain!" At this time, Xiong Jiqing retreated. Yucci already broke into tears. "What are you crying about?" "I'm not dead yet," said Xiong Jiqing a little irritably. He then began to recover. At this time, Yi Shiwen had to stand alone in front of the opponent. Captain Xiong had to recover as soon as possible and return to peak. Only then could he help Yi Shiwen. At this time, both Yao Qian and Bai Hanmo looked at Yi Shiwen anxiously, wondering how he would face this terrifying expert. Yi Shiwen was blown away with a punch just now. What happened was crystal clear in their eyes. "TSK, this is interesting. Is this a brotherhood among comrades? It's a pity. You lot are heading to hell soon. Bain showed a cruel smile on his face, even worse than the previous smile. When you go to hell and meet the Hell Emperor, don't forget to tell him that I killed you. Your heads will become my most exquisite artwork. Bain's 5 fingers squeezed into a fist. Dense demon auras at the surroundings began to gather in his direction. In Chaos Demon Sea, the demon aura was more abundant than that in other places. As a half-demon and a demonic sea beast, it was the best battlefield for him, surrounded by demon auras. It was precisely because of Chaos Demon Sea's unique circumstances that the demonic sea beast clans, half-demon, had a footing whilst competing with the major forces in the Flourish Cloud Sea region. God-defying demon statue punch. Behind him, a statue composed of countless demon auras began to appear. The statue resembled a hideous demon god with a green face and blue fangs. The statue had 6 pairs of arms, appearing in an eldritch demeanor. Bain didn't know the origin of this fist technique because it was his natural awakening punching technique. It should be the terrifying martial arts contained in the half-demon blood. Generally, whether it was half-demon or half-demon beast or whatever, there was a chance to awaken the supernatural bloodline powers of different races. Although there were some differences, it was easier to awaken the blood of the stronger side. Just like Bain, after awakening the demon part of his blood, the sea race blood in his body began to be madly suppressed. He gradually began to become like a demon clan instead of being a sea clan. But he accepted this feeling because he felt powerful and in control. He liked this feeling the most, having power and being able to do whatever he wanted. This feeling made him feel like he was omnipotent like the gods. This was especially true when hunting those human experts who have entered Chaos Demon Sea. Seeing them either crawling under his feet or swearing directly at him gave off a unique pleasure. These should be the side effects of the power awakening in his body. Even if it had a strong ramification, it was worth it for him. Maybe I should have died long ago. Occasionally, this kind of thought flashed past. Even if he was killed by a human expert whom he hunted on the spot, there was no regret in his heart. He felt he had killed enough. Hence, he was even more unscrupulous because there was no fear. That was why he became more brutal. When that colossal statue appeared, Bain suddenly felt that his power had become more robust, but the blood essence was being consumed at a faster rate. Boom! He slammed a punch wrapped in a thick demon aura. The demon aura seemed to pollute the entire ocean. A visible black demon aura directly blocked the remaining light entering the arena. It appeared as though the sun was gone. Yi Zaiwen's expression became unusually dignified. Countless divinity on his body began to emerge crazily. In every drop of divinity, there was a deity constantly reciting ancient scriptures to fend off those demon auras. Chapter 9:23. Chapter 9:23. Madly trading hits. Yi Shiwen did not focus his mind on incarnating the divinity. Instead, it passively provided protection. It appeared to be stimulated by these demon auras. Demon aura itself was one of the eeriest energies in the world. On the other hand, divinity itself was the utmost strength and utmost just energy. These two energies were inherently opposed. Once they collided together, it caused a violent reaction. Divinity turned into a golden ocean wave, directly resisting the demon aura onslaught. Boom! God-defying demon statue punch slammed into the golden divinity. The two inherently opposing forces smashed together. There was a fierce collision every second with a tremendous amount of energy consumed. Although Yi Shiwen did his best to resist, the divinity was still unable to resist the God-defying demon statue punch's destructive power. God-defying demon statue punch managed to open up a hole for its destructive power to penetrate. But it also gave Yi Shiwen time to recompose himself. He concentrated all his energy on one point. The mini-universe in his body instantly began to spin frantically. A mind construct swept out immediately. Although it was not as good as Yi Hong's territory, the mind construct was the territory's initial appearance. Around Yi Zaiwen's side, it seemed to have become a void in the universe, frantically extending towards a far distance. His fists turned into two massive stars and punched off the huge demon aura. Boom! Countless seawater on the scene evaporated in an instant. A vacuum zone was formed in an instant. Frenzied energy that swept out in ripples pushed away the oncoming seawater. None of it could seep into the arena. Dang! 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 Yi Shiwen retreated 3 steps in a row. Each step stomped the air around the seabed. The scene when the air collapsed in a large area was quite terrifying. If the battle took place in the true martial domain, the space would be punched through. At this moment, Baiyin had already rushed over. He did not give him any chance for Yi Shiwen to catch a breather. This kid is dangerous. It gave him the intention to kill Yi Shiwen as fast as possible because he felt something was amiss. Shua! Baiyin's speed was so swift that his punch appeared in front of Yi Shiwen instantly. Although it was not as powerful and terrifying as God-defying demon statue punch, just now, the speed was way faster. He didn't need to get prepared in activating the technique. He purely relied on the terrifying power of his physical body. Both the sea race and the demon's body were far above the human race. These two races were advantageous in a physical brawl. Baiyin, with the combined advantages of the two clans, had no reason to undermine it. Boom! Yi Shiwen quickly raised his hand to block the punch. His right hand was only able to halt Baiyin's fist momentum. The horrible fist was capable of shattering a mountain range, even if it was an ordinary punch with no demon chi. However, Baiyin's speed was swift. Another punch came in almost instantly. Fortunately, Yi Shiwen was confident in terms of the physical body. He could even compete with the dragon race at the same level. It was conceivable how terrifying Yi Zaiwen's physical body was. Even though Yi Zaiwen's cultivation realm was not as high as Baiyin, he did not fall short even in the slightest when it came to the physical body. Boom! 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 The two of them were like showing off their martial arts. Each move of theirs was fast, accurate, and ruthless. They pinpointed each other's weakness directly, leaving almost no opening for the opponent. The scene was shocking. Yi Shiwen was competing with Baiyin in terms of the physical body. What was terrifying was that Yi Shiwen showed no losing signs. Yao Qian and Bai Hanmo, who watched from a distance, found it unbelievable when they witnessed this scene. Firstly, Yi Zaiwen's realm was far worse than Baiyin. Secondly, whether the sea clans or the demon clans, they had much sturdier bodies than the human clans. Apart from the minority bloodlines among the human race, the others were not proficient in the physical body. Everyone's eyes were solemn. They could not join the battlefield due to the vast disparity in combat strength. However, they still understood that danger lay within despite it appearing effortless. With a little carelessness or even a direct hit unblocked, the attack would penetrate Yi Zaiwen's body. The two were fast and cruel, attacking each other's weakness with no pauses. It was like two terrifying cyborgs fighting. It's over. I'm afraid elder brother Yi will suffer this time, Bai Hanmo said with a rare seriousness. His combat experience was not much because his growing environment was too protected. However, it did not mean that he didn't have a discerning pair of eyes. Yi Shiwen did not fall behind in terms of the body, but the battle between two people was more than just the physical strength difference. As a matter of fact, Baiyin's overall strength was far above Yi Shiwen. Haha, this is a refreshing battle. Baiyin laughed loudly and said, "It's been a long time since I have so much fun. Although you're human, you're a different one. I don't want your head anymore. I want your whole body. You can last long until now with your transcendent realm 3rd level. It is not easy already." As he spoke, glaring, killing intent exuded. For this particular human, he felt Yi Shiwen was equipped with high status and high strength. Once the opponent progresses further in the future, it would be a threat to the other races. As he encountered such a talent, there was only one choice, a relentless hunt. He would not allow his opponent to escape. After playing enough, Baiyin no longer held himself back. The straight punches had boundless power. It blasted straight toward Yi Shiwen. The fist pressure directly blasted through the golden divinity clad on Yi Shiwen, striking onto his vulnerable flesh. Boom! Yi Shiwen suffered the horrifying blow. As he appeared, almost blasted out, flames emerged on his palm. It morphed into a fiery long saber immediately, slashing right at the opponent. In an instant, Yi Zaiwen's fiery long saber also slashed on Bai Yin's body, drawing a large wound directly on the opponent's chest, and the blood was sprayed all over. Bai Yin didn't anticipate Yi Shiwen to have this trick. The human attacked him at the most unexpected and unguarded moment. The blow incurred a grave wound. At this time, Yi Shiwen was also blasted out. A mouthful of blood was directly spat out. The injury was much more severe than Bai Yin. His chest was dented. It was almost as if he was about to die immediately. Bai Yin was still stunned on the spot. He was injured. He was actually injured. This was an inexcusable thing for him. It was not that he has never been injured. He had the experience of severely injured and even close to dying. However, he never thought a Transcendent Realm 3rd level warrior would hurt him one day. Although this attack depended on his carelessness, it still happened after all. It was a huge shame. Damn it, die. Bai Yin thought of the war scene surrounded by fire. Death seemed to be the only main tune in this play. His body trembled involuntarily with anger, and fear struck him. His figure darted toward Yi Shiwen immediately. He wanted to deliver a fatal blow onto Yi Shiwen. Yi Shiwen had already sustained a severe injury. The human was by the death's door. He would send Yi Shiwen to hell to relinquish his hatred. But when he darted over, he found that the situation was completely different from what he had imagined. Yi Zaiwen's injury was not as severe as he had imagined. Yi Shiwen could even be said to be in good condition. In the delay, Yi Shiwen had used Phoenix regeneration technique to recover from his injuries. Facing Bai Yin, who was rushing over again, Yi Shiwen moved. He was even more proactive than Bai Yin, as if he was not afraid of death. He ran forward, ultimately giving up all defenses and putting all his energy on the attack. Another slash came down directly. Bai Yin, who was already mad, didn't notice the peculiarity with the event. Seeing Yi Shiwen giving up the defense, he only thought the human was courting death. He didn't feel that there was a miss, so he delivered the blow with all his strength. Puff! The two sides directly flew out like two meteors. Both sides suffered grave injuries with blood gushing, and their bodies broke apart. This was a tragic duel. They were like nemesis with no holding back. Their only goal was to hurt the opponent as much as possible, ultimately killing the opponent. Both sides were in poor condition. Though, Yi Shiwen suffered the short end. He was on the verge of death again. However, after Bai Yin sustained another heavy blow again, his injuries were worse than the previous state. His combat strength would inevitably suffer some decline. Yao Qian was the first to notice it. Her eyes suddenly lit up. She immediately understood what Yi Shiwen was doing. It turned out that Yi Shiwen wanted to trade his injury onto his opponent. He tried to drag Bai Yin to death gradually in the battle. It was a madman's plan. If he was not careful, he might be killed on the spot. Bai Yin was not an ordinary Transcendent Realm 7th level expert. Yi Shiwen needed the physical Bodis might and the magic of recovery martial art technique to achieve such a fantastic outcome. You're tuning into the Warrior Lore YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.